Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shop on TV with me, Rob Locke, with an E. Now, tonight is a very, very special show. You're actually shopping not with Shop on TV tonight, although we are the facilitators of this wonderful show. You are going to be shopping at SimpliSafe. And when you go to simplisafe.co.uk/shop TV, you will get 60% off. That is 60% off any and every security system that we're going to introduce you to tonight. They're all simple self-installation, they're all top of the range, and they will provide security and peace of mind for you, your family, your pets, your children, and your home. And not only that, that when you sign up within the next 48 hours for whichever security system you're about to decide that you're going to order, you get 2 free months of Pro Premium monitoring. We're going to get into all of that. And everything comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Now, it's really simple because we have 3 offerings tonight. This is the foundation. It's called that because it's the bare minimum you need to have and start a security system. You can then build the security system by adding on components that you need, rather than going for a package where you might get things that you don't need, or that might not have things in it that you want. However, just to make things easy, we've also thrown in a couple of packages as well, like a starter package and a medium package, and so we'll get to all of that. But this, £114 is the very minimum that you need to spend, and then you can add on sensors, you can add on all kinds of other great things. We'll show you actually, look at this. You can go through shopontv.co.uk if you want and just literally scroll down to SimpliSafe, or go directly to simplisafe.co.uk. That's simply with an I, simplisafe.co.uk/shopontv. Click Build My System, and then you go through and you choose how many components and which components you need. We are going to explain them all in this show, so stay tuned. You will know everything you need to know, and you've got 48 hours. So, you know, I wouldn't normally say this, but I'm not going to rush you to order now, because, you know, it is 12:30 at midnight almost, or 12:30 midnight rather, 12:30 at midnight. Let me try English. Sorry, 12:30 midnight. So, you know, you probably don't want to be going around the house figuring out how many sensors and stuff you need. So we'll give you all the information you need now. Then you can go and have a look around your home later tomorrow. And you've also got the next day as well. And as long as you check out within 48 hours, you will lock in your 60% off. And, by the way, here's the great news. Let's say you get the system and you then go, oh no, I could have done with another sensor. Oh, you know what? I wish I'd got that flange or that thingamabob. SimpliSafe will honour the 60% off for any other accessories you buy for up to 60 days. So as long as you've locked in the deal within the 48 hours, you've got 60 days to add anything else that you need. And if you buy something and go, oh, actually I don't need that anymore, or I thought I needed it but I don't, you can return that and get your money back. And if you buy a package and there's something in the package you don't want, you can return that as well. And I tell you what, this is the company of companies when it comes to security. 4 million people trust SimpliSafe. You can very simply install these systems, and not only that, you can either have them as a temporary installation, so if you move you can take the system with you, or if you're bedded down in a house that you've purchased, for example, you can actually screw them all in and have them fixed permanently, so to speak, or I suppose semi-permanently. You can always undo a screw, right? So let's give you an idea of what the systems are all about. Stay tuned. Within the next half an hour, you'll have everything that you need to know to be able to build your SimpliSafe system.
At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Our advanced home security system is designed with cutting-edge technology, powered by 24/7 professional monitoring. You and your home stay safe with smarter ways to detect motion, HD security cameras, and sirens designed to stop intruders in their tracks. It all works together to protect you from burglaries, fires, floods, and more. You can control the entire system right from your phone, from anywhere, with the SimpliSafe app. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than £1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Oh, did I mention free delivery as well? I believe they even pay for the return delivery. Try it. Is that right? Yeah, I'll introduce you to my guest in a moment. I just had to confirm that. So once again, to confirm, 60% off when purchasing any security system, and that is exclusively for you Shop on TV viewers. Although if you share the link with other people, your friends and your family, which we welcome you to do, anyone who uses that simplisafe.co.uk/shop TV gets the 60% off for 48 hours only. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Make sure you get your order in within the 48 hours. And you will also receive the 2 free months of Pro Premium monitoring. That's worth £55, 60-day money-back guarantee, and as I mentioned, free delivery on all of the components. So, ladies and gentlemen, here from SimpliSafe is the senior tech lead, the one and only Sav Jardine. Hi, Sav. How are you? Lovely to see you.
Rob. Thanks for
Welcome
me.
back.
Thank you.
Would you mind telling our lovely viewers a little something about SimpliSafe and why they are the choice of choices when it comes to a security system?
Absolutely. Well, SimpliSafe was originally born in the US about 18, 19 years ago. And it was built in someone's garage who had an idea that they needed security that they could put in themselves, was easy to use, had the latest technology. And so our founder developed this, and it's grown into a business that now services 4 million people between America and the UK. So they've obviously put a lot of time, effort, resource, technology behind the system, which is really great, and you'll see it shows when we do the demonstration. But we launched in the UK about 5 years ago now, and obviously it's doing really well because it's so simple and easy to install. So with our system, you basically cut out the middleman, you order what you need, gets delivered to you, you've got instructions, and they're really easy to follow, and you can set up your system in under an hour.
What percentage of people do that?
97%.
97%?
Yeah.
But what about the 3%? If they don't want to do it themselves, can someone do it for them?
Yeah, so we partner with a company called Alderworks. So if for whatever reason you don't want to install it yourself or you can't, you can go through them. They'll basically check everything that you've ordered, so they're quoting you based on the system that you've purchased, and then you'll have a professional that comes and installs a SimpliSafe system for you.
Now, one of the things that to me, when I heard some years ago, self-installation when it comes to security, you know, having had a security system installed professionally was very expensive. I immediately wondered, is it as good as a fully installed, you know, I don't know if professional's the right word, but you know, professional security system?
If not better, because I think in this case, you get to really understand what the system does, how it works yourself from the get-go, and that's really important around security because, you know, I've had a system installed in a house that we moved into. I didn't know how the hell to use it, you know. But with us, because you're going through all the instructions from the get-go, you understand the parameters of each sensor, exactly what triggers it. You can customize everything yourself. So you're able to go from A to Z under an hour and fully understand how your system works, which I think gives people peace of mind as well.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're having to learn after the fact, it might not be necessarily what you want, or you know, customizations might not be there. So I think it's really easy.
And what I love is that if you do make a mistake and order something you think you need, you're not stuck with it, because and as I said earlier on, if you do then order a system, build a system and go, I forgot I actually need one of those, you've locked in the 60% for up to 60 days.
Absolutely.
What if, and I know the instructions, and we'll go through this, is so easy to follow. I mean, you could almost do it blindfolded with your hands tied, standing on your head. But if people did have questions and needed some support, what kind of support does SimpliSafe offer?
So our call centre, which is really, really helpful, they're open Monday to Friday, between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m, and then weekends 9 a.m. to 5:30. We have live chat as well. We've got a community on our help centre. We've got a help centre that can help people. Email, you know, so we've got all the different ways to contact us.
Loads of information on the website.
Loads of information there, so you can either go onto our help centre, look up questions, scenarios, ask questions if you like, or you can speak to one of our experts to help you through it, and they'll walk you step by step through everything. Also,
the great thing about Shop on TV, the reason that we broadcast live on ITV1 and STV is because if you have any questions at all, You've got literally the expert here right now. So you can just literally, there are two ways you can do this. Email us, studio@shopontv.co.uk with any questions before you buy, and Sav will answer them for you. Or you can go to shopontv.co.uk, click on the live button, you can't miss it. And the very first screen that comes up will show you this, and there is a web box. Now, we can't reply to the web messages. We can, of course, reply to email. So if you need anything answered, and also if it's maybe something that you need Sav to respond to, then just make sure that you give us permission to pass your information on to Sav, and she will make sure that you're taken care of. Customer service is second to none with SimpliSafe. But who would you say, if this isn't a redundant question, who would you say that needs to get a SimpliSafe system?
I think anyone really who is either living on their own or has something to protect is worth having SimpliSafe. Just to give you an example, I used to live in a house share, which you would think, one, you've got loads of people around you, it tends to be quite secure. You know, how do you protect a place where you've got loads of people in and out? But I had a man climb through my bedroom window, you know, and I was like, what? So I had the little foundation kit put into my room alone, just so that I could protect my belongings and my stuff.
Because there are cameras.
You can have cameras, sensors, anything.
You can put sensors on drawers, so if you've got a drawer that has all your important documents in, you can alarm that, can't you?
Exactly, a safe, you know, a garage, a room that you don't want anyone in.
But it's also a garage, a shed even, a caravan, a motorhome. I mean, literally you can put this anywhere. There's power and an internet connection, right?
So anyone who's got something to protect, and I think at the end of the day, people are the most important to protect.
Well,
really anyone, you know, that has a need for it.
Remember, you're going to simplisafe.co.uk/shop-TV to get 60% off, plus the 60-day money-back guarantee, plus free delivery. And let's have a look at a comparison of why SimpliSafe are the choice here. These systems are fully fledged, full chat, full fat, every bit as good as if you went and had a really expensive security system installed from a professional alarm company. I mean, SimpliSafe they are the choice of professional alarm company. The only difference is that these products are designed for you to be able to install yourselves. They literally have stickies on the back. Or if you don't want to use the stickies, you can actually take the backs off every single of one of the items and actually screw them in place. So you can have them as a permanent fixture or a temporary fixture that you can take with you. So whole home protection, yes. Mobile app control, yes. Smart home integration, yes. But then the traditional home security lacks in the following areas: 24/7 professional monitoring for less than 53 pence a day. Pro premium monitoring for police and private guard response. Yes, you can get that too. Someone will actually come round to your house and check the premises. We'll get into that. Agents automatically verifying alarms, access footage, and they're contacting you to let you know if something's up. Up to 24-hour battery backup as well, Wi-Fi and cellular connection. And by the way, we'll talk about what happens if the power goes down, what happens if the internet goes down, etc., etc. What happens if somebody tampers with the alarms. It's all covered. Integrated privacy shutter on all indoor cameras, lifetime warranty, and a 20% discount on hardware for subscribers. No contracts, no hidden fees, cancel anytime. And you've got, by the way, 2 whole months, 60 days to decide once you get this in your home. You can literally install it all. And if you don't love it, if it doesn't tick every box for you and you go, oh, you know what, I wish I hadn't bought that, take it all down, box it back up, send it back, and you will get every penny of your money back. And there's no shipping, so you don't even lose out on paying for shipping. 13,000 positive Trust Pilot reviews. And compared to the competitors, well, what is so your star rating is what?
4.9.
And so presumably the rest of the industry is similar?
No.
No?
I think they're about 3% now, 3.8
3%. So most people are unhappy with the installation of the other traditional burglar alarms.
Correct. So yeah, for a new company that's been in the UK for 5 years to have a 4.9 rating and continuing to stay there, recently increased from 4.8, so we're doing even better and our customers are loving us even more. So it's really good.
Sam, would you do me a favour? So Martha, our producer, will kind of scroll at your direction, but I want to just give everyone an idea. Can we go through and start going through all the components, what you can buy, what it's for, why you need it, why you don't need it?
Absolutely.
So where would you like to start? Where do you think the best place to start?
We could start here just to show you a bit of what we got, and then we can move on to actually demonstrating
Okay,
it.
sounds good. Yeah.
So every system that you'll purchase, you'll always get a base station in it. So this is the base station over here. This is the brain of the system. This tells you everything about the system. It will also sound the alarm. It will let you know if there's a battery low or if something needs attention. So this is where everything connects to.
Yeah.
Then you've got your keypad, which is your control panel. So here, you can arm your system, disarm your system, add sensors, remove sensors, do what you like, customize everything. You can also do all of that stuff in the app. But this is a nice piece of hardware that you've got in your home.
And can you use the app, like if you're abroad and so you want to let somebody in, can you turn the alarm off from abroad?
Absolutely, yes.
Ooh, sorry, pray continue.
And then you get your indoor camera over here, which is called the SimpliCam.
Yeah.
And this one, when you have your monitoring, so visual verification is really important. So if we can see that something has gone wrong for the reason of your alarm, then this will ensure that we can dispatch police, emergency services to your premises.
And what you've just described there is the foundation, isn't it, right? Is there anything else in the foundation?
You get one entry sensor.
Okay.
So that you'd usually put on your front door.
Yeah.
So the moment then that gets triggered, that would obviously set off the alarm.
So there it is. That's the foundation package. That is basically everything that it's the minimum you can buy. Without those components, you don't have a system. So that's where you start from. Okay. Now we say small homes and flats. That could be enough for you. But if you want to add to it, you can build your system from there. 60% off, that's only £114 versus £284.96, saving you £170 and 96 pence. So when you go to simplisafe.co.uk/shop TV, you go to build my system, and then what do we do, Sav?
So here you can literally add then any sensor.
Yeah, so why might you need, can we go through these slowly, Mara? Is that okay? Why might you need another entry sensor?
Sure, you might have your front door and then maybe a kitchen window that you want protecting, back door, patio door, a room, a garage door, anything. So
any external doors, you would say, or vulnerable windows?
Yeah, exactly. So I would go through your home and basically count your entry or access points or any vulnerable points.
If it was a two-bedroom house, two-storey house, would you bother with sensors on the windows upstairs, or would you generally just do them downstairs?
Generally downstairs, unless there's, like, you have a roof at the bottom that someone could climb up onto to get into a second floor window. Generally only if they're bigger windows that someone could actually climb through.
And then the rest you can cover with sensors, can't you?
Exactly.
So motion sensor kind of speaks for itself, but what are some of the key features of those?
Especially for big rooms, or hallways that people would have to walk through. So motion sensors should just be placed in areas where someone would have to pass to get to another section in your home.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have a lot of doors in that, but maybe you have glass.
Yeah.
So if someone got in another way and not through an entry point and actually broke their way through, then a motion sensor is your next level of protection.
What if you've got, and this is going to be a question a lot of people will ask, what if you've got pet? By the way, folks, listen to this because you're going to love this answer. It will blow you away. What if you have pets?
So motion sensor is designed to treat pets separate from humans. So as long as your dog's not over 35 pounds, it won't trigger an alarm for them.
So it recognises that it's a pet.
They've got a specific heat signature different to humans. So yeah, we've got that technology.
Wow!
Yes.
I mean, it's a smart sensor, really, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So what if your dog is over 35 pounds?
Then we just have tips for placement so that they don't trigger it. So you want to put it a little bit higher, not in the 6 foot exactly. You could also turn it round and then put it lower so it won't pick up the floor. So it's just making sure that you're not putting it in a place where they will get into really close proximity to it.
And also I love the fact because, of course, if you've put it in the wrong place and you haven't screwed it in, you can reposition it very easily, whereas if you've had a system installed, you probably couldn't do that. It's all hardwired in. So and let's go back to some of the other sensor is the glass break sensor. Again, sort of makes sense, but where might you use it and who should get them and maybe who wouldn't need them?
So if you've got an orangery or I always call them greenhouses, but the glass...
Oh, right, yeah. A conservatory.
A conservatory, there we go. Any place with a lot of glass, because obviously an entry sensor or a motion sensor, could work, but you could buy too many entry sensors then for like a conservatory.
Right.
An emotion sensor, you know, can pick up more because it's got the glass sensor. Glass break sensor would be more beneficial in place with lots of glass.
Lots of glass. And what do? Put it on the window?
You put it next to the window, facing the window, around the window.
So it senses when the glass has been broken, essentially.
Exactly.
How many windows will it sort of cover? I mean, if you know.
A big room, so like a.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so like a big room.
So a whole conservatory with one sensor.
Absolutely.
Oh, fine. So you don't need loads of them.
25 feet.
25 feet.
So
Wow.
have that, and it will pick up the distinct sound of glass breaking.
Remember, you're getting 60% off all of this. All the prices you see, as soon as you add it into your basket, it will give you the 60% off. So these are the full prices. By the way, if you do go, as you go through the website, if you do see some of the preset packages, all of the components of the packages are exactly the same price as the bespoke, customized, personalized, build your own system. So there's no additional charge or on the individual components. It's exactly the same as if you buy the package, so you win either way. So we got as far as panic button. Now, I mean, I think this will apply to a lot of people. And, you know, you can have these sent directly to people, to somebody else's address if you want, presumably. Is that something you can do?
The panic button needs to be within the vicinity of the system.
But the system, you can have it sent to your mum's house.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So anyone that you feel is maybe vulnerable and could use it, absolutely.
So you can buy it as a gift, or okay, I'm sending you an alarm system.
Yeah.
You know, so the panic button. What are some of the features about that are special?
So panic button is great if maybe someone lives in an area or just doesn't feel secure and they want to have something that they can trigger the alarm themselves.
Yeah.
So usually people have it in a bedroom next to their bed. I know I do. And then basically you push the panic button for 2 seconds. It will set off the alarm. If there's someone around, obviously it's going to deter them because they're going to go, oh, I've been caught out, you know. But we also have a feature called like a silent panic. So if you don't want to deter and set off the alarm and you want to secretly alert the authorities, then you can customize it so that it doesn't actually sound the alarm, but the monitoring sensor still gets the alarm signal.
Like in the movies with the heists, the bank heists.
Yeah.
But you say alert the authorities. So because you get the pro premium monitoring, is that what's happening when your alarm goes off? Maybe we should talk about what happens with the pro premium monitoring when you get that.
So Pro Premium 24/7 monitoring, anytime your alarm goes off, a signal gets sent to a company called Securitas that we partner with. Securitas then review your alarm. So they obviously look at the camera footage and you have to allow them and give them permission for them to do that. So it's always in your own control. Once they've reviewed the footage and they go, yes, we can see that there's something malicious happening or something untoward, because they have that verification, they can request police dispatch. And then obviously, because it's verified, it tends to be faster response for that. If they're unable to verify, so one, you either haven't given like visual verification permission to Securitas, or they can't see anything that's actually happened, and maybe it is just a person who's falsely triggered their own alarm, then they'll make sure that they call the people who are listed on the plan, so you can add who you want, to say, you know, you have an alarm, is everything okay? And if something were to change throughout that process, obviously then they can review, and then if need be and they see actually something is happening, they can still request police dispatch.
Amazing. So they literally send somebody around to the property. Now, so you get 2 months of that free. What does it cost normally if people want to continue subscribing?
So it's $27.99 a month.
Yep.
So it works out to about 93p a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that a cancel any time, or is there a minimum contract?
Cancel any time.
So you go month by month?
If you literally just say, well, I don't see the need in it, we obviously make sure that you understand the level of cover that you have. You don't want it, we'll cancel it for you.
But also presumably that means that if you're at home a lot and you don't need it, but then this is going to happen soon, isn't it, right, for a lot of people, you go on holiday for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or something, you could subscribe for that month and you're covered while you're away.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then so you can activate the day you leave and you could cancel the day you come back.
So it's not a calendar month, it's literally a month from whenever you want it to
Immediate cancel, immediate activation.
Oh, I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? Let's go through, again, more of these accessories. Now, there is a bell box. You don't get a bell box with a foundation, but if you want it, they do say that the bell box, certainly on houses and things, is quite a good deterrent, isn't it, for the robbers?
I mean, people are opportunists when it comes to crime, and so if they see that you're protected, they're going to be reluctant to go in there. It's just going to make it more difficult. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the bell box, we have It's a 105 decibel siren. It's loud.
Right.
It's got a red LED flashing light on it. So if your alarm was to go off, obviously that will start sirening and deter and obviously alert neighbours and passers-by.
May I, Martha, just very quickly scroll sort of slowly through the rest, just so that we won't do them all in detail. Obviously, the information on the website is so good. You've got a choice of cameras, so you've got outdoor cameras, indoor cameras, wired indoor cameras. Anything you need to say about those very quickly?
Cameras are all high quality. They're excellent.
HD?
HD, yes, 1080p. We've got 2 types of indoor cameras. One's wired that comes with every system. You get another one which is called our smart alarm indoor camera. It's actually the first of its kind where it's a camera, but it's also a motion sensor. So it's a 2-in-1, can actually trigger your alarm, whereas other cameras are just cameras.
They're just cameras.
So that one's really good, so you're getting 2 pieces of protection built into one.
And that's the Series 2 one, is that right?
This is
sorry, that's outdoor. So just a regular wireless indoor camera.
The wireless indoor camera.
Sorry, I need to learn to read. And then if we go back, we'll see some of the other things also that or go down even. So hazard sensors, again, they're, a smoke detector.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have it. I mean, I know a lot of modern places do, but maybe you don't. Or you've got an outhouse, or you've got as I say, a caravan or a camper home that doesn't have them.
Yeah, basically anything. A smoke detector, every home should have.
Yeah.
So definitely add one of those to your basket.
And that connects to the base station as well, and it's all fits in with the main. These all integrate with the main system.
So in this case, obviously, if your smoke detector was to trigger and you're on Pro Premium, that alarm will go through to Securitas. They'll review your camera footage and go, oh, we see smoke or fire.
So they could catch the fire before it burns your house down to the ground.
Call the fire brigade. There's a verified fire at this address, please go.
It's worth 30 quid a month, 27 quid a month, isn't it?
Especially if you're away from home, what you're going to do.
Yeah, quite. We'll come back to embers. Temperature sensor, so what does that do? I know it seems obvious, but...
Yeah, a temperature sensor is one that can be used for a lot of different things, but obviously it tells you the temperature in your home, but it can also alarm for the set temperatures that you put in.
Oh, so if it gets very cold and pipes might start bursting and stuff. Or
so it's got a minimum temperature, a maximum temperature. But you can get quite creative in using this. So they're quite often used in server rooms. They can't get too hot. Used around boilers for pipes freezing.
Right.
But it's also used, for other things like people who have plants that need specific temperatures. I know I'm a plant person.
Right.
Can't be too cold, can't
or
be too
reptiles
hot.
or something. Yeah.
Pets in general.
Sure.
So being able to know the temperature of your home and being alerted if that temperature would drop off.
Because everyone's very careful if you have a dog or in the car and cracking the window and not leaving them in the car when it's like in the dead of summer.
Yeah.
But that your house can get just as hot. Yeah. Can't it? Or if not hotter. So now the other thing, this is one of our favourite sensors, the next one, which is, I think, essential, and that is the water sensor. And by the way, can I just say something? When we look at this online, so see there, it says $19.99. That's the full price. When you add these to your basket and you're shopping through, you've got to go to SimpliSafe, simply with an I, simplisafe.co.uk/shop TV. You put that in your basket, and when you go to checkout, you'll get 60% off of all those prices. Haven't got the discount yet. That's it'll be $7.99. $7.99 for a water sensor, and this is really clever, isn't it?
It is. The water sensor actually saved us recently.
Did it?
Yeah. So we had a leak through our wall that flooded our utility room, and I had put a water sensor next to our washing machine in case the washing machine leaked, but actually we caught a big issue before it became a really big issue.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what it does. The moment it detects water on 2 or more of its pins, it will alert you and say water detected.
We're going to show this later, aren't we? Yeah.
Exactly. And immediately alert you, and you can go check it out before it becomes a real issue.
Do you know, my son flooded the kitchen the other day, a couple of weeks ago, because he left the tap running, and I'm watching the telly, he's cooking away, completely oblivious to both of us that the whole of the flat's filling up with water, and if we'd had one of those, we'd have known.
Exactly.
Also, so let's just have a look at some of the optional extras, and then we've gone through everything. It's really self-explanatory, it's really clearly and concisely explained, and just remember again, every single thing on the website, every price you're seeing currently is without the discount. You get the discount is applied once you've added everything to your basket and you're ready to check out. So you've got a key fob.
Yes.
What does that do?
So that works just like your normal key fob would, but basically it has your system states on it. So you've got off, home and away, which we'll get into depth with.
Yeah.
It's also got a panic button on it, which is really good.
So could you give these to different people that you trust to go into your home to turn the alarm off?
Absolutely.
So it's
it
like
saves
for
you
your
from
car?
giving them a pin. you know, and sharing that information. So I have for my parents-in-law, they can come in anytime, you know, turn the alarm off if they need to do something.
You can do it from a distance, can't you, as well?
100 foot from it. So especially things just like making it easy when you have loads of groceries. You don't want to open the door and then have to go turn off the alarm. Quickly turn it off with your key fob. Also saves you going into the app, you know, faffing around. It's on your car keys.
A lot of very clever people have literally thought of everything, haven't they? Video Doorbell Pro, I think we're familiar with video doorbells.
Yeah.
But this is like video doorbell on steroids, isn't it? What does I mean, tell us what this one does that's so special.
So this one, obviously this is the one item that's hardwired, but we do have a DIY solution to it as well for people who are interested in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you basically put it on, it will alert you to any motion. If you've got Pro Premium, it records as well. Your base station will ding dong if someone presses your button. Your phone will ding dong, you know, to let you know
see who it is on your
someone's there.
phone. So you could be sitting in Malaga having a Mai Tai, and the doorbell and you can literally see who is at your door.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Plus, also, if you want to, you can get extra keypads. You can get extra. There's an extra siren if you want it. You know, it really is a total, complete and utter package. But you create your system that's right for you, that's right for your home. All you've got to do, you know, later today, go and have a little look around and go, well, you know, I need one of those, and it's a pick and mix. But if you're not sure, it's fine. Get what you think you need, and if you then find out you don't need it, and if you're not sure, you can talk to customer service, and you can just send back the pieces you don't need. But also, as long as you check out a system and pay within the 48 hours starting from midnight tonight, then you've locked in that 60% off for 60 days. So any extra components that you buy, if you go, oh, actually, do you know what? I really could have done with an extra key fob, or maybe I would have the bell box outside. You can order it, and you will SimpliSafe will honour that 60% discount for 60 days, as long as you've already bought a system within this 48-hour period offer. So you're handheld the whole way. It's super duper easy. But just in case, maybe you're sitting at home and going, yeah, but Rob, I don't want to go through and figure out my own system and add my bits and bobs and. Well, that's kind of fun. Well, we do have a couple of packages that we've put together. There are more online, but we've got two that we're featuring tonight. One is the Starter, which is for small flats, and then one is the Pembroke, which is for a sort of an average-sized home. But can you talk through what this is, who this would be good for, please, Sav?
So the Starter is definitely for someone who's in a flat or a small home.
Yes.
Because you've got one entry sensor and one motion sensor. So this is ideal if you've just got a front door and maybe an area that you want covered.
Sure.
Again, you can add to this at any time. So it's a great one to start with, get familiar with it. But also, if that's the size of your home, then it's perfect for it.
So I've got a 2-bedroom flat, so, you know, I've got my base station, I've got my keypad. I wouldn't need a bell box because there's nowhere to put it. I'm on the 5th floor. The entry sensor would go on the front door. And then I suppose the motion sensor would go in the living room, because that covers anything that comes in the front door, and there ain't no other way of getting in there.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't even need to cover the bedrooms, would I?
No.
Because no one's going to get that far.
And some people might have balconies, and if they're maybe a lower floor, a motion sensor will cover them if anyone try to access that way as well.
And if you've got a balcony that you think is easy for people to access, that's a good candidate for where to put a camera as well,
exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah. So that's it. You get the base station, the keypad, the entry sensor, the motion sensor, and the wired indoor sensor. With your 60% off, it goes from £319.95. Now that's a chunk of change, down to £128, saving you £191.95 and 128 quid. I've spent that on dinner for 3 before. You know what I mean? And that's not even with a decent bottle of wine. Now, if you want to go big for your home, then if you want to go medium in this case, this is the Pembroke, which gets you a base station, a keypad, 3 entry sensors, 2 motion sensors, a wired indoor camera, and a bell box. And again, this is normally nearly 500 quid, 46491. It's £186. You're saving £278.91. Who would you recommend that this is for?
So this will usually be a house of some sort. So,
like 2 up, 2 down kind of thing?
Yeah, anything like that, because you've got the 3 entry sensors. So here you've got a front door, maybe a back door, maybe a window that you then one protecting.
Yeah.
So that will cover most people. And then you've got the 2 motion sensors.
Yeah.
So you might have 2 separate rooms in your house, like a lounge and a living room, or a snug or something like that. Again, motion sensors great for when you have to pass through rooms. Even
French
a kitchen.
doors, sliding doors, all that kind of, will it work?
Absolutely.
What kind of windows, what kind of doors will these things
Any
fit on?
doors, any windows. The entry sensor, as long as it's within 5 centimeters of each other, so it's got a magnet.
Yes.
You know, so as long as it's within 5 centimeters.
5 centimetres?
It doesn't have to be.
Oh, I
like,
thought it'd have
you know,
to be
it can
almost
be-
like millimetres.
It can be at the top, around, a little bit skewed. It does,
Ah.
You know, so it's a little bit flexible in how you do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I know some people have like, you know, quite bulky windows, or the frames don't line up too much.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can still place them, like I know mine are on like angles. But as long as
So
they're
casement
within,
windows, or, I mean anything, any window or door.
And in the moment it, you know, breaches that threshold, then obviously
Yeah.
it will trigger.
So would you recommend, I'm just trying to think, so to give everyone at home an idea of, I think the name of the game is you've got to figure out, if somebody tried to get in your home, how far would they get before you needed to be alerted? So would you recommend, let's say if somebody has French windows going out to their patio or on a back room, would you have a sensor on the door and a motion sensor, or is a motion sensor enough? Or would you recommend both?
I think it also depends on how protected someone wants to feel.
Yeah.
But you always have that second layer of security then if you have both. So I'd
Yeah.
always say an entry sensor on an opening.
Okay.
Whether it's a French door, whether it's just a back door, any sort. And then I think your next level of security depends on what you've got. So if you've got really big bifolds or, you know, sliding doors or something, a lot of glass
Yeah.
that someone might rather smash through,
Yeah.
then you could probably opt for the glass break sensor.
Right.
But
Would if that was in a room, would the glass break sensor also cover act as a motion sensor, or would
No.
you have to have both?
yeah, so then the motion sensor would be a different type of cover.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I say it's quite important just to go, right, there's an entry point, I'm having an entry sensor on there.
Got it.
If there's a lot of glass,
I'm having a
the
glass
next-
sensor.
because the next way someone would try and get through is to break
the glass.
through.
And if you have any, if you're not sure, you just call customer service. They'll advise you on what the best thing to do is, without trying to flog your stuff. You know what I mean? This is about getting you the right system that you need. I mean, it's so comprehensive. We're going to get into some demos in a moment. Any questions, please email studio@shopontv.co.uk, or you can use the message box at shopontv.co.uk. And Sav is here while she's here. I mean, it's so simple. You build your own system. Over 4 million people in the UK trust SimpliSafe, and 97% of customers set it up on their own. When we get over to that little demo area, we'll show you how easy it is to install. If you're sitting there wondering, as I'm sure many of you are, well, how do I connect all of the bits and bobs, all the gubbins to the base station? How does it work? Do I need a degree in rocket science to operate any of this? The answer is no, by the way. It's called SimpliSafe for a reason. No step along this journey of security for your home or your vehicle, your sort of, recreational vehicles and such. No stage is any more complicated than opening an envelope. It really is, and we'll show you more in a moment.
When it comes to keeping your home safe, what if, wherever you were, you could get around-the-clock monitoring from security experts? Always ready to send help in case of an emergency or a break-in.
Not on my watch.
Meet SimpliSafe's industry-leading 24/7 security monitoring. With our most comprehensive monitoring plan, you'll have real people powered by SimpliSafe's cutting-edge technology and Securitas expertise, keeping an eye on your home. If your alarm is triggered, our team will act fast to confirm what's happening at your home. In case of a break-in, our team can dispatch a security guard to your home and use SimpliSafe technology to visually confirm if there's an intruder, where we'll also alert the police, so you don't have to. And if your sensors detect any other type of emergency, we'll alert the fire brigade too. Criminals deterred, emergencies sorted, your home protected. Extra peace of mind, less than £1 a day. No contracts, no commitments. With our Pro Premium plan, your alarm is never ignored. Our security monitoring team has your back. SimpliSafe 24/7 security monitoring. Like having your own personal security team. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Well, we've come over to our demo area and we're going to take you through some of these things and show you how simple they are and how they work and everything else. Just to remind you, if you've just tuned in, you're shopping with SimpliSafe.co.uk/shop TV. We have an exclusive offer. This is only available to Shop on TV viewers, nowhere else, not on SimpliSafe's website. This is the only place you're going to get 60% off plus £55 worth of free pro premium monitoring for 2 months, which you basically, I assume you just put, if you put your payment info in and it just carries on, does it? Or until you cancel?
Exactly.
Right,
so when you
it's
go
dead
through
easy.
card details, tells you, if this is subscription, free trial ends after 60 days, and then you can carry on.
This is all about peace of mind. So you can connect to SimpliSafe through our website if you want to, or you can just go directly to simply.safe.co.uk/. It's got to be /shop TV. If you just go to the main SimpliSafe website, you are not going to get your discount. Shop through the portal that we have created, or they have created just for you. There you can build your own system, or there are pre-made packages that might suit you better. Just have a little look. It's so easy, it's so informative, it's so straightforward, and this is about peace of mind. These are uncertain times, and there are some dodgy characters out there, let's be honest. And so this is a way of protecting yourself. The director just said, you're watching one on TV. Oh, okay. Don't talk about Sav like that. No, I'm just kidding. You feel, having that feeling of security and safety is phenomenal. But also, especially when you go away, because I've been burgled. When I moved into a new flat, and I had all the wiring from an alarm system, but I hadn't had it installed. And my girlfriend at the time and I were in bed. And she woke me up in the middle of the night and said, I can hear a noise in the corridor. So I went out and somebody was at my front door, opening the front door, and they ran away. But then when I went into the living room, I realised, because I'd accidentally left the window open, and they'd cut through all the cables on my brand new TV and all these and had everything ready to go. And they'd got my keys and were opening the door and were about to have it all away. Fortunately, we woke up just in time. But how scary. We were sleeping, and they were in there getting ready to nick all of our stuff.
And you would think you would hear people in your house, but you just don't in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and again, it's all about making sure it's protecting for any eventuality, isn't it? Particularly when you're away, or if you're vulnerable, or if you know someone who's vulnerable and you want them to have peace of mind and you want peace of mind on their behalf. So where would you like, okay, before I say where would you like to start, I think it's important that we know that you don't have to be a rocket scientist or an Einstein to be able to set this all up. So I leave it to you. Demo what you wish to demo.
Absolutely.
And prove to me how simple this SimpliSafe system is.
Okay, so first of all, because the base station is the brain of the system, which is this one over here.
Do you need to swap places? Really good. No. Okay.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
This one, you simply plug in here, plug it into a wall socket. It turns on, it speaks to you, it says, welcome to SimpliSafe, and you'll follow the instructions on the app or on the keypad. Where would you put this? Center of a home, basically central to all your devices as much as possible. A hallway, a side table. Basically, you just don't want to put it anywhere where there's like an overload of electronics, like next to your microwave.
Right, okay. And this is the siren as well, right?
The sirens as well. So it's got a speaker at the top here, 95 decibels. It's loud.
Yeah,
so,
and it's voice prompt, as you say. Exactly. So once it's plugged in and the system's all set up, what happens if you have a power outage?
Sure, so then it's got the backup batteries, which last up to 24 hours.
Right.
And everything stays the same. The system works the same. So you can make sure that for whatever reason your power's out, you're still protected. Especially if you, like you say, when you're away, there's nothing you can maybe do. Yeah. You've got time to sort it out.
What happens if the Wi-Fi goes down?
So then you've got cellular backup. So if your alarm built in. If your alarm was triggered, it will then send that alarm signal to Securitas over cell.
When you say cellular, is that like through your own number, or is it a dedicated connection, cellular connection, separate from your own phones and things?
It's a dedicated one, so it's not like a data SIM card.
Yeah, you'd have to pay for data or anything like that.
No, nothing like that. So it's built in. Yeah. That's it. It's part of the base station itself.
What's next? I suppose the keypad. Would you say, or
keypad? Yeah. So this one, I actually forgot to mention that it has a panic button on it as well at the top over here. So if for any reason you entered your house and you thought there's something not right, you can push a panic button straight away.
What happens if I walk in with a baseball bat? If I'm a burglar.
You can smash a keypad up as much as you want. The alarm signal is still going to go through to the monitoring centre. So the base station is designed in such a way that it would take a really long time for you to be able to completely dismantle and break any connection before the alarm signal's received. So
Right.
there's
So you
no-
can't beat it, basically.
No.
It's yeah.
And the likelihood of someone knowing exactly where to go in your home, what exactly to do,
Yeah.
that it's, you know, simply.
And it's smash proof anyway, isn't it, to
Exactly,
a degree? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll walk you through how to use the keypad. What do you want to do, this first, or we'll go through some of the cameras and things?
So I'll quickly show how to add
Okay, yeah,
a
please
device to the
do. Yeah,
system.
and I have loads of
through it.
questions.
Okay, so on the keypad over here, you can see there's a few buttons. You got menu, which we're going to push over here, and you're going to put in a pin. Obviously, don't use this one for yourself. It's very easy to get.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh, it's
then-
lit up.
Yeah, so the screen.
Can I put this next to here so we can see everything happening at
Yeah.
once?
So the base station lights up to tell you what it's doing. So like now we're in setup mode.
Yep.
The screen itself is actually a button.
Oh.
So you push up, left, right, down like this.
Alarm off.
I
Amazing.
exited. And you heard the base station speak to you. And every time you need to go change something, you obviously have to put in the pin so no one can just go in and do anything.
Yeah.
But we're going to add a device now to this. So we're going to say add here. You can see the base flashes round.
Yeah.
And then you can take any sensor and it tells you what to do on the keypad.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm adding a water sensor. And you literally just push the button.
Basement.
There we
Water
go.
sensor.
Huh.
Detected.
Oh, you can
There we
even
go.
tell it what
Choose
room
a
it's
name.
in.
Yeah. So you can choose a name. So I'm gonna keep that one as basement, and then I'm gonna add another one here.
So every device has its own button.
Freeze sensor. Added.
That's a freeze sensor, okay.
And then I choose a name over here.
Freeze sensor. Named.
There we go.
And that's it.
And
so
that's
that's
what
now
you
ready to
just
go.
do with, and that's what you do with every single sensor.
Presumably they all have batteries in them.
Correct. They all
So
have batteries.
do they come with batteries?
They come with batteries.
And are they're not rechargeable, they're just regular batteries, right? How do you know when the batteries are low?
The keypad, the app, and the base station will all tell you when the batteries are low. And
So
times
they'll
to
tell you
change.
which thing needs a battery changed.
That's correct.
Amazing. Okay.
Yes, correct.
Cool.
And all of them come with the sticky tape, and as you can see, there's some screw holes on the back of this as well.
Can you show us how that comes off? Because it's here, I'll hold that for you.
Yeah. Thanks.
So the sticky tape, or every single device has a removable backplate, so you can then, if you want
Yeah.
to screw it on, you can.
So also, if you ever needed to change the battery, you don't have to take the whole sensor off the wall. You literally just slide it off the bracket. You can
Yeah.
change the battery, or you can, if it's screwed in or taped on, you can still do that with all the sensors.
How long will a battery last? I mean, I know it's how long's a piece of string, but
Yeah,
roughly.
it obviously depends on usage. The more something's used, the less time it will have for
Yeah.
battery life. But on average, most of your sensors, except the motion and entry, probably last 3 to 5 years.
Years.
Your entry sensor, especially like your front door, that's being used daily, probably lasts somewhere around 18 months to 2 years. But I mean, it's still
Oh,
a
is
lot
that all?
of time. Yeah.
What?
Motion sensor about the same as well, because the more it's triggered, obviously the more battery life it's going to use.
Yeah.
But it's a long time.
And so it's easy to change the batteries because they just click off. You're not pulling wallpaper or paint off your wall every time you do it.
Exactly.
So do you want to demonstrate this while we're at it? Because this is the, we have a little handy glass of water here.
Yes.
So this is your water sensor. You can have it next to a washing machine, anywhere there's water or anything like a boiler or anything that's prone to leaking.
Yeah.
So that's obviously an add-on. Very simple. You start with the foundation package at £114. That basically gets you the base station, the keypad, I think one entry sensor. Is that right? And is that it?
For which one, sorry?
For the foundation,
yes,
yeah.
correct.
So, and then you add whatever else you want on top, okay? So this is the, okay, there's your foundation for £114. This is the water sensor. So that, we've already paired it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so now let's activate it, shall we?
So now, it doesn't matter what state your alarm's in, it can be off. It's always going to alert you when
Really?
it detects water. That's correct. So it's always on, essentially. So I'm literally just going to, I don't want to spill this too much, just to show you
So
that.
this could be a, leaky pipe.
Even a little
machine.
bit of water. And if you have a look there, there's 6 pins.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as 2 of those touch water, it's going to alarm.
So it could be next to your washing machine, your dishwasher.
We'll just say, please,
Oh yeah, I'm going
careful
to stick
for
my
the-
fingers. Oh, sorry, yes, the alarm is about to go off at home. If you've got pets, children, babies, sensitive
Yeah.
people, then turn the volume down a little bit now.
okay. So you can hear this is starting to go.
Water sensor triggered.
And this will just continue until you obviously do it. If you're on the Pro Premium monitoring, you'll get a phone call.
Water sensor triggered.
Okay, that's not the loud siren I thought it
Yeah.
was going to be. And all you do to stop it is you just put in your PIN.
Put in your PIN, and then you'll obviously want to go and clean this up, because otherwise it will continue
Yes,
alerting
yes.
you that water has been
And if you've got the Pro Premium monitoring and you're abroad or something, then basically you get it. You know, you've got the folks at Securitas who are, they know something's up, they alert you that something's up, and if needed, they can do something about it.
Exactly. Yeah, and once you've given
Yeah.
it a good wipe and cleaned, it's ready to be used again and carry on.
Can we hear the actual alarm? So maybe can we pair
Yes.
a motion sensor? Shall I bring a motion sensor over for you? Sorry,
Sure.
excuse me. There we go.
Sorry,
Oh, that's
next
wrong one.
There we go.
Go.
Okay, so this gives me a little bit of a segue to talk about the actual alarm states before we actually trigger this one. So on your keypad, you've got an off button, a home button, and an away button. You've also got this on the app. By default, off is off. All your alarm sensors will not trigger. So your entry sensor, motion, glass break, etc.
Yes, except water, obviously.
Your hazard sensors will, so your smoke,
Yes.
temperature, water.
Yes, yes.
Okay. By default on home mode, your entry sensors are all on. So that means I'm at home. I want to be able to walk around the inside of my house, but I don't want anyone coming in.
Right, yeah.
So entry sensors are all on. Away mode, everything's on. So then your
you
motion
can have it on
sensors.
while you're home.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, what? Sorry, I'm getting excited now. I apologise. I don't mean to talk over you if I do. If you're in a two-bedroom house or a multi-storey house, sorry, not two-bedroom, two-storey house, and at night, can you arm the downstairs while you're upstairs and all of that? How do you do that?
Yeah, so
I
that's
suppose
what-
owning it.
That's what we've got. So we don't have like any entry sensors or motion sensors upstairs because there's no access to upstairs.
Yeah.
So for us personally, we use away mode at night when we go to sleep. But
Right.
whilst we're downstairs in the kitchen lounge, we use home mode. But
Yeah.
you can zone it then. So
Right.
you can say in home mode, I still want this section with these sensors armed. Then you can customize it. So you can say, well, actually, I want that motion sensor on in
Yeah,
home mode.
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely customizable for all the sensors.
So you can have it covering you, protecting you on the perimeters while you're downstairs and during the day. When you go up to bed at night, you can also add in the downstairs interior as well to be
Exactly.
protected. But
Yeah.
again, if you've got a drawer with valuable documents, collectibles, gold, silver, jewelry in general, precious gemstones, anything that's of value, you can even put one of the motion sensors on a drawer if you
Entry
want to.
sensors.
Entry
Yes.
sensors, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also when you're on the Pro Premium, you get a special feature called a secret alert.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't necessarily set off the alarm, but it will tell you that it's been opened.
Yeah.
So if you have a safe or something that someone shouldn't be accessing, or a
Yeah,
room that
yeah.
someone shouldn't be accessing, you can set it to secret alert as well. So just know that
Yeah.
someone has accessed.
Do you know,
that
it's really
space.
important. So when I had my house in Orlando, we would occasionally rent that out to holidaymakers. So we had an owner's closet. So, but if you've got, maybe if you do Airbnb, or if you own an HMO or something along those lines, or if you rent out a property and you need an owner's area that nobody else is supposed to go into, you can protect that and be alerted if anybody tries to get inside.
Absolutely.
So just before we get, and there's so much to. I hope you're sending in your questions. Please stay with us. It's so simple, but it's so comprehensive. So we're going to pair this. I'm going to try or one of us is going to try and walk away from it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
We want to hear the alarm go off.
So now you can see it's red because we've had a previous alarm. I'm going
Yeah.
to set the system in away
Please
mode.
exit now.
It does have a countdown that we can hear. By default, it's a minute, but you can obviously bring this down to 45 seconds, whatever you prefer, however long you really need to exit the house and make sure everything's set up and going.
Yeah.
You can see you've got this blue light around it. Again, it's telling you what the base station is doing. The colours are all explained in app as well.
Yep.
So for this, it's getting ready to be armed. Once it's armed, it's going to be solid colour.
Okay.
So for the motion sensor, this one, it calibrates during this period. So obviously you exits, it's going right. This is the ambient temperature and everything.
Yeah.
So the moment that changes, that's what's going to set off the alarm.
Oh, is this one
Okay.
already set up with this?
It
yeah.
is, yes.
Ah,
So-
crafty.
As soon as the system arms, I should have started a little bit earlier here.
That's all right.
You can hear it speeding up. And it will tell us when it's armed anyway. And then simply by moving away.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, shall I be Mr. Burglar?
You're absolutely welcome
Okay.
to.
I'm going to come in front of one of the cameras.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to try and be really careful.
There we go. It's
Oh, so it
triggered.
doesn't go off straight away?
It needs to just have that time to go. Is this?
Oh, is it me or is it,
Yeah.
you know?
So there we go. Okay, just know.
But I set it off. It's definitely set. But
Yeah.
can you reduce that amount of time?
So that was
Because I
quite
expected
quick.
the alarm to go off really, really quickly.
That was quite quick considering it's facing that way.
Yeah.
You've walked in from there, so it's just caught you. So it has like 180-degree
Yeah.
angle.
Oh,
And that's the loud alarm.
Alarm off.
95 decibels, and by the bell box that goes on the front is really loud too. And then there's another 100, I think it's 105 decibel additional siren you can buy if you want to as well.
Correct.
So that is that how much time it would normally be when you walk
Yeah.
in?
Yeah. So it just needs to go. This isn't the same ambient temperature. I'm alarming,
I
and
see.
the alarm will go off.
Amazing.
And the countdown, you know, then it starts beeping before the alarm goes off. So it's like
Yeah.
an entry delay
Right.
because obviously if you're coming home, your alarm's on, you maybe haven't used your key fob before.
Yeah.
So you've triggered the alarm. You can set the amount of time, like 30 seconds,
Yeah.
for you to be able to go in, disarm the alarm before the siren actually goes off and sends that alert.
So to recap, everything is so simple. There's a button on it you press when you're in setup mode. It's easy to pair. You can assign which room it goes to very simply. You can zone rooms, cluster them together for areas you may want to arm or not arm. You can have the whole perimeter of the house or the home or the premises alarmed while you're in it for extra peace of mind. If you have an upstairs to go to, when you go to sleep at night, you can have the whole of the other areas that you're not inhabiting during the night armed as well. It's totally bespoke, but again, it walks you through. Every menu is so simple and so easy to follow. It is absolutely goof-proof. So yes, there's a lot of technology, but you don't have to be Bill Gates to figure it out. By the way, the reviews are just stellar with SimpliSafe. Everything is easy, says Benjamin, and these are bona fide customers. Ordering the right system, easy. Setup, easy. App controls, easy. Everything just works so well. It's a great system that feels high quality, works exceptionally well. Everyone in the family is getting it now.
That's usually how they go.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is so straightforward, but also it's ingenious. Charles says, fast delivery, good communication. I reviewed a lot of systems and SimpliSafe scored high on all reviews. Alarm system, very easy to set up, extremely user-friendly and flexible and easy to monitor with the app. Very impressed with the whole setup and the ease of use, would recommend. And here's the difference. We're going to talk about the app in a moment. SimpliSafe versus traditional home security. Yes, you get whole home protection, and it's just as good, if not better, because some of the technology here is so advanced. It is top of the line in the industry, we're told. The mobile app control, yep, get that. Smart home integration, yes. However, if you get the Premium Pro plan for some of these, and you don't need it for all of them, but you consider the asterisks. The asterisks imply Pro Premium plan needed. You get 2 free months of that worth 55 quid. But you've got 24/7 professional monitoring for less than 53 pence a day. Pro Premium monitoring for police and private guard response. And the professional monitoring, if you don't need someone to come around to the house, and for police and private guard response, it's 53 pence a day. If you do want to have the police and private guard response, then that is, what did you say, 97 pence a day, right?
93 pence.
93 pence a day. Agents automatically verify alarms, access footage and contact you. Up to 24-hour battery backup with Wi-Fi and cellular connection. It's got its own cellular connection. You don't need to provide the cellular connection. If your home Wi-Fi goes down, it can connect over a cellular and alert somebody that something is going on, if indeed it is. Integrated privacy shutter on all of the indoor cameras as well, and a lifetime warranty. A lifetime warranty on everything, and a 20% discount on hardware for subscribers. So if you're subscribing to the Pro Premium plan and you're past the 60 days of securing this deal, because when you secure this deal, any additional items that you order within the next 60 days will also be subject to the 60% discount. Once that 60 days is up, they won't, but you're still going to get 20% off if you are continuing with your Pro Premium plan, and why wouldn't you? No contracts, no hidden fees. You can cancel at any time. So when your 2 months of free Pro Premium Plus expires, and if you're around at home or someone is generally available, maybe you don't need to continue paying that. I would personally, for my own peace of mind, but you never know. You can pop down to the shops and there might be a window of opportunity for something untoward to happen. So it's peace of mind, isn't it, really? But then if you can't, maybe that's not in your budget. But when you go away for a couple of weeks, during the summer or Christmas holidays or something like that, then you can subscribe. You can literally subscribe the day before you're going, and then you can cancel, a month later. So you only have to pay for 1 month. The Pro Premium plan, £27 a month, is that right?
$27.99.
$27.99, and the professional plan is
Pro plan.
The Pro plan.
Sorry, $15.99.
$15.99. Sorry, I apologise. Confused me, actually. At a 60-day money-back guarantee on absolutely everything. You've only got 48 hours, though, to lock in this deal of 60% off. And that is only if you shop through SimpliSafe, simply with an I, safe.co.uk/shop TV. Yes, you can share that link with your friends and family and loved ones. By all means, go right ahead. They too will then benefit from the 60% off, but it is only for 48 hours. So we started broadcasting at just after midnight on Monday morning, midnight Monday morning. So in other words, by 11:59 Tuesday evening, then that 48 hours expires. So you've got time later today, to have a good peruse of the website, chat to anyone you need to chat to and discuss it with you if it's a system for you or a system for your friends or family. It's Monday, so you can also call customer service and ask any questions between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. if you want to, if you need to discuss your specific needs. And then also you've still got another day, if you need it, to actually place your order. As long as your order is in, confirmed and paid for by basically Tuesday evening at 11:59, you've got that 60%, and anything you buy for the next 60 days will also be subject to that 60%. They'll have your account details, so you'll have created an account, so that will automatically be applied. Bear in mind, when you go to simplisafe.co.uk/shop TV now, all the prices you see are without the discount. The discount has not been applied yet. So in other words, when you I look at those and I go, wow, those are good prices. And then I realise, well, I'm actually getting another 60% off. So, a $19.99 camera becomes $7.99, or not camera, a sensor, or there was something on there that was the water sensor. So, and everything has a 60-day money-back guarantee, and it's free delivery. So you are absolutely covered. If you get this home, costs you nothing to get it home, no matter how big or small your system is. You kick the tyres on it, you put it in place, you set it up, go through the motion sensor. And if you're not happy, if it doesn't function the way you want it to, although it functions it's literally one of the best alarm systems that money can buy, or security systems, no matter how you configure it. But if for any reason you're not happy, if you just wake up and go, it's Wednesday, I don't want an alarm anymore, I'm going to live life on the edge, you can literally box it all up and you can send it back to SimpliSafe and you will get a full refund. And it hasn't even cost you postage and packing to get it. Right. Sorry, I think that's covered everything. There's so much to cover, and I'm trying to make it as simple and easy as it actually is. But you have your phone here, so what have you got linked up in your home that you're going to show us now?
So we're going to show you a bit about the cameras.
Yeah.
Because all the cameras require Wi-Fi connection to work. That's how it transmits the video to your device. And because we're in the Shop TV place with Wi-Fi, it's not working. But we'll show you here today what it would look like when you're at home. Mm-hmm. So this is the home screen of the app. As you can see, it's quite similar to the keypad in the sense you've got the off, home and away buttons that you can just arm and disarm your system from
anywhere in the country or the world.
Or the world, exactly. So you just push a button and it changes that state. You also just get like a nice overview. You can see here I've got some temperature sensors. I know what's going on in my home. And at the bottom you've got another tab here that says cameras. And there's all my cameras.
And it could be your doorbell camera, it could be your wired camera, your wireless camera. Oh, look at, by the way, you'll see there is a a cable plugged into Sav's phone. That's purely so we can get the video signal into our electronics, so you can see it at home.
Yes.
But this, again, remember, it works over cellular. You don't have to be at home on Wi-Fi for this to work. It will work then, but this, when you're away, it just works on through your account. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So here, and then you can just watch live anything. So obviously here's where I've got my cars covered, which was great because we've just gone away. I forgot to lock my car.
Yeah.
And I could tell because the window thingies were open. And so every morning I was like, is my car still there? But as you can see, then it's got great night vision over here, so you can see exactly what's going on. You can then also see the history of everything that's on that camera.
Yeah.
And there's all the
140
camera
degrees.
history.
I've just had a thought. I don't know, I haven't thought this through, but as a question. So I live in an apartment building and we can rent a parking space. And if I'm thinking about treating myself to a nice car. So if I park it in the parking garage, could I put my own camera sort of somewhere to watch it? Or would it would need to have access to Wi-Fi, wouldn't it, I suppose?
It would need access to Wi-Fi, all the cameras, that's a requirement for them, but it would also need to connect to your base.
Right.
Because everything speaks through the base.
I see. Okay.
So if it was within 100 foot, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so for my case scenario, no, and I probably would have to ask the landlord anyway. But if you've got a garage next to your house, then, or a shed, and you've got, I mean, look, garden tools, expensive garden tools. My dad's lost loads of those from putting them in a garden shed, a wooden garden shed.
Absolutely.
With hundreds, if not thousands of pounds worth of tools in it, and they're easy to break into, and but you can cover that too, right?
So like here's an example where I've got the spotlight feature on our courtyard one.
Okay.
Because there we've got garden tools. We've also got a motorbike over there at the moment. Luckily no one knows where I live.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, right.
You know, we are recording. But the spotlight one brings everything in colour, so I can see a little bit more about what's going on there. But
so that's a camera you can buy with a spotlight on it built in.
yeah, so they all got spotlights. You can choose if you want to have the spotlight functionality on, or you can just have
They've
the
all
night
got
vision.
spotlights.
The outdoor camera, yes.
There's night vision as well.
Yes.
Oh my! I feel like Jason Bourne.
Which is great. A spotlight's nice because, you know, it's like a motion light, you know, so obviously the camera detects motion, that spotlight turns on. That immediately is a deterrent.
Yeah, yeah.
So that courtyard, we were like, definitely, the front we want to be a little bit less obvious because we want to go, you know, is anyone creeping around?
Sure.
But in the courtyard, it's like, right,
Well, also,
on
you know,
camera.
sometimes, I mean, there are certain people who have these spotlight cameras, and they end up shining in my window or in places I've lived in the past. Every time a fox goes by, it's like, oh, for goodness sake, you know. So you can be kind to yourself, kind to your neighbours, or you know, considerate as well.
Exactly.
But have the light where you need it. That's amazing.
Exactly.
So should we go inside? Can we have a little look inside?
Absolutely.
I just want to see around your house.
Well, last time we were busy, like midway through decorating. This time we've decorated,
Yeah,
so
right.
it's a little bit better. So this is just our living room. As you can see, we've got some bifold doors there.
Yes.
Because this is the wireless indoor camera that we're using, I put this specifically in the lounge because one, it's a motion sensor, and secondly, it's the camera.
Right.
So if anyone got through these doors, then the motion sensor would pick them up, set off the alarm, and I would have it recorded.
Yeah.
So
You said that was a first, right, to have a sensor built into the camera. That's amazing.
Yeah, that will actually trigger an alarm. It's like the outdoor camera is obviously a camera, but won't trigger an alarm because the postman could come by. So this is our first indoor one. So there you can see again, like there's no lights on in the house. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Well, of course, obviously.
And the vision is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very low light conditions. And again, you said that if you have pets, does the motion camera, also with the camera with a built-in motion sensor, is that also friendly to pets as well?
It is, exactly.
So up to £35, the sensor literally senses pets have a different heat signature to humans. So the system is so smart, it knows it's a pet.
Exactly. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about false triggers.
Yeah, and if you have a St Bernard or something like that, or you keep a pig inside or something, then a Great Dane, then there are ways that you can set the system up to accommodate them too.
Different heights, making sure that they can't get up close to it.
It occurred to me also, if you've got this system, you could go and buy a nanny cam, and they can set you back a lot of money. If you've got the system already, you could go, if you've got a baby or if you've got kids, or there's a play area you want to monitor for safety, then, you know, for schools, nurseries, these would be great, not only to protect the premises, but also to be able to keep an eye on the children as well, I would think.
We
you just add a
absolutely
camera.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we absolutely do that. So we do it for our niece who comes over when she's having a nap. Then we can see exactly when she wakes up. As soon as she moves, sits up, whatever, alerts us. We're like, right, she's awake, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
We can
yeah.
also just keep an eye on her, you know, throughout the night. So yeah, it has many uses, and I think to find value in it, you can go, it's more than just security.
Yeah,
You can use it for so many different things.
Mary has emailed. Thank you, Mary, for sending your question in and for watching as well. She has asked about cameras. Do they record? And if so, where do they record to? Where does the footage go?
Sure. So the Pro Premium monitoring comes with camera subscription, which records. You have control over your privacy. So the indoor cameras have a privacy shutter on it. So again, you can customize. So for example, in off mode and home mode, my privacy shutter is on, meaning I don't want my camera looking at anything.
Is that a
whilst
manual thing or is it automatic?
It's automatic the way you set it.
Right,
so as
right.
soon as I push it in off mode, shutters go down.
They go down, but you don't have to go around to every camera and flicker something down.
No, not at all. And then
Okay.
away mode, everything's on because I want it to then detect motion if I'm
Yes.
away from the home.
Sure, sure.
So you have full control over that. They store to a cloud. So like when we were going through my timeline, you can download everything you want to your
And how far
device.
does it go back?
30 days.
Right.
So you've got 30 days of storage then. It will obviously then just continue as the days go on. And then for the alarm side, you have the visual verification setting, which I can show you.
Yeah, please show us whatever you like.
So over here, you'll see.
It's so intuitive the way it's done. Even if you're a bit of a technophobe, if you can read, and you got half a brain, it's easy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a little toggle about the monitoring capabilities. So you can allow our monitoring agents to view your footage, which will obviously help in
Yes.
dispatch and verifying the
Sure.
incident. But for anyone who, values privacy and security and who doesn't want anyone seeing anything, they can turn that off.
But it might be,
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, and I mean this as tastefully as possible. If you and your partner are having some private time together, you might want to make sure the camera, because that's what I'd always worried about, is somebody from Securitas sitting with a bag of popcorn enjoying themselves,
But absolutely no one can view your camera
No.
footage outside of an alarm if you've given that person permission, and it's only for the alarm event.
Right,
No
so there's
one
no
can
way they
go
can
back.
jailbreak, there's no way to get into
Nothing.
the system.
Nothing like that.
And I know I was obviously making a silly joke, but this is a very
But people
serious
do
point.
think about that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but for people's peace of mind, you have full control over all of that.
Yeah.
But our monitoring agents will only see the videos recorded for an alarm event.
Actually,
not
that's
anything
another
else.
point, is that what about burglars? Is there any way they can break into the system electronically, and access cameras or sensors or setup or anything like that?
Yeah, so everything's encrypted. Our connection from the sensors to the base station, our cameras to its storage. There's people out there that go, we can try and jam it with a remote. And, there's all this new technology that's coming out, and they do it to break into cars, etc.
Yeah.
Our system will tell you the moment there's an interference detected.
Right.
So if there's anything that's starting to bug the connection
Yeah.
between devices or, base station,
Yeah.
it will tell you. So you'll get an alert on your phone, your base station will tell you, and it will record. So it will say,
So by
like,
the very
interference.
nature of trying to interrupt the alarm so it doesn't go off, sets it off.
Exactly.
I mean, it's really, really well thought through. You've got security experts who work on these systems day in, day out on the design and the innovation, and they have literally thought of everything.
Yeah, security, you have to.
Now, would you say, James, we've got a question from you. I'll answer that in a sec. I just want to ask, in terms of other traditional security systems, are they as advanced as this, or is this kind of pretty industry leading, SimpliSafe?
This is definitely industry leading. Things being wireless and DIY is new. People are a little bit skeptical sometimes to new things, especially around security. But having that 60-day money-back guarantee lets anyone try it, prove to themselves that it really is as good as we say,
Yeah.
with absolutely no risk to them. Traditional systems, not to say they're bad,
No.
but do they offer as much customization, being able to add and remove anything that you no longer need? Can you take it with you if you ever move home?
Right.
You're investing in the equipment here, which other, professionally installed. You're not, most of the time, the equipment's rented, you know, they take it back when your contract ends, and they're contract based. So I think a lot of that. And
they're expensive.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as I say, a lot of houses now are wired for alarm systems, but again, if it's wired and you want something extra, then you have to, that's when you have to start, you know, stapling wires around your skirting board and things like that, or you have to get an electrician out, or you'd have to get the alarm company to come and install it anyway. The thing is that take the wires out of the equation, what's on the end of the wires is not only every bit as advanced as top of the line traditional security systems, but in many cases it's much more advanced. So you just have to think, I mean, there used to be days at times when we would plug our computers into the internet using a cable. There used to be a time, I even remember, when you plugged the remote control for your TV into the TV with a cable. But yes, Martha, yes. But now things are wireless, because wireless technology is so advanced and it's so stable and it's so secure and it's so robust. Yep. But also, as Sab said, the fact that when you move flat, you can take it with you. If you invest, and what would a traditional security system be? £1,000, £500, £600, £700, £800 for a really basic one, a lot, or more, plus all the installation costs. You know, you can get you've got an entire system for £114. If you've just got a flat, that's probably enough. Or you might want to go up one notch and get the starter package. We do have a starter package. The foundation is really the basis for build your own systems. But for an extra, literally £14, then you get yourself a door sensor as well. You get that extra stuff. That's perfect for a flat, a base station, a keypad, the entry sensor, the motion sensor, and the wide indoor camera. And that, by the way, is your Which Best Buy for January 2024.
It is, yes.
Yeah, for burglar alarms. So let's do some more questions, shall we? So it was James, wasn't it? Nothing is a silly question, by the way. With the wide indoor camera, what's it wired to?
So it has a USB adapter that you just plug into the wall.
Ah, when you say the wall, power wire. So for power,
yes.
Okay. But presumably you could plug it into your computer as well if you wanted to, no? Or would it?
You could plug it into anything that gives power, but
yeah.
if you wanted something permanent
you're not
power
using
source.
it as a webcam, are you?
Yeah.
So basic little adapter you can get from Amazon or something.
It comes with an adapter.
Oh, sorry. Of course, I should have known. Stupid question. If
Yeah.
it's going to be included, and if it's going to be the best, then it's SimpliSafe have done it already, haven't they?
Yeah.
Richard, excuse me. Can you turn the outside camera alarms off if you want to?
So the outdoor camera isn't an alarm itself.
It's just a camera.
It just does the motion detection. But yes, you do have functionality to essentially stop it from detecting motion.
Right.
So again, by the alarm state, so you've got home, off and away. If you're at home and you're having a barbecue, your system's obviously off, you've got people around, you've got an outdoor camera in your back garden, you don't want it to keep buzzing, motion detected, and be alerted all the time.
Right.
So you can set it so that it either doesn't detect motion or it just doesn't send you motion notifications, or both.
Right.
And
or if
so
you've
you
got
can select
somebody
either
playing
one.
basketball in the back garden or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So you could have it that it's still detecting motion, but it's just not notifying you.
Yeah.
Or you can have it that the motion is off as well as motion notifications. And you can do that for each alarm state, so off, home and away.
So just a little sort of, I suppose, 10-second summary. Every single device, every accessory that pairs to the base station has a button on it. As soon as you press the button, the base station recognises it and then it offers you an option of where or what to call it. So you name it, well, it'll know what the device is called, but where it's going to be. So you can call it living room, and there are preset ones as well, aren't there? Or you can name your own. So for living room, you could, any devices you've got in the living room, you set them for living room. Any you've got upstairs in bedroom, bedroom 1, master bedroom, spare bedroom, kids bedroom, whatever you want to call it. Call it Mickey Mouse United for all we care. It really doesn't matter. So essentially what you're doing is you're creating zone. Well, you can make zones from the rooms that you've created. So you can cluster very simply things together. And so you've got just the upstairs, or you've got just the downstairs, or you've got just a particular set of rooms that have got lots of valuables in them. And then at night, you can have everything on downstairs if you're in a multi-story house, and sleep peacefully while and then during the daytime when you're downstairs, you can actually have the alarm on, so it's arming just the doors and the windows and the perimeter, so that if anyone came in while you're at home, particularly if you feel vulnerable, or you're getting this for somebody who is vulnerable or feels vulnerable, there's protection all day long. And then when you leave the house, you can press one button and everything's on. And if you get yourself, I personally would get the key fob, which is an accessory. Then you come back as you're driving up to the house or the garage or the flat, or whatever, hit the key fob, the alarm's off, you can walk in with your shopping or a kid under each arm or whatever it happens to be. Maybe you're carrying your beloved across the threshold after just tying the knot. You don't have to, go up to the keypad and, oh, darling, while you're doing the keypad. So it's maximum convenience and maximum simplicity. Plus, every single device has a sticky on the back for temporary installation, but they also have a little plate that clicks off with screw holes so you can mount them permanently. And then because they click off, when you have to change a battery, you're not ripping them off the wall and having to re-adhere them. Right, Andy has a question. Andy, what's your question? Can I have someone install it for me, please? Yes, absolutely. Tell us about that, Sav.
You can. So Orderwork is our preferred installation company. The price starts from £133 for installation.
Okay.
The price is all based on what you have purchased from us.
Ah, right.
So it will calculate the cost of installation based on each sensor that you've got.
So if you add that to your basket when you check out, it'll know everything that you've put in the system and it will give you a price.
So you just add it to basket.
Yeah.
You don't pay now.
I
So
see.
it just starts from 133. We then send you information about how to actually book,
I see.
and that will all be directly through Orderwork. You can add just cameras, for example. So let's say you're happy to set up everything inside, but you want your camera, especially outdoor camera or bell box maybe.
Right.
Outside, you don't want to get up a ladder or you don't have a power drill or something. So you could also just select those items to be installed. You can get someone to do the whole system for you, and the price will just be based on
So
what
you could do
you've selected.
conversely, you could do the installation, but if you're a complete technophobe and you just are illiterate when it comes to technology, even if it's, unless it's just pushing a button, they could do the setup part for you and just say, right, when you go out, press that, when you go to bed, press that, and when when you're home, press that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say probably our customer support help better with that.
Yes.
Because to send an engineer out,
That would be a bit silly.
a little bit, but
well, not silly, wasteful.
yeah. So we could help you with that, and like I say, we open 7 days a week, live chats. We've got a help centre community. You can
Do you
ask
talk to a real
questions.
person?
Always talk to a real person.
Amazing,
yes.
amazing.
And we're known to be very helpful.
Yes, well, actually, Jack, I believe, sent us a comment, and he said that the customer service that he has received from SimpliSafe is second to none. Absolutely unbelievable. Everyone's trained. It's not like you've got a call centre where it's just that's they're on an hourly rate that's outsourced and they're working off a script.
Yeah.
Your call centre, everyone works for SimpliSafe, don't they? And they know the products inside out.
Absolutely. We've built such a great team, and I think everyone's really passionate about it, and it shows. So if you ever need to call support for anything, even if it's just a question, people are so happy to help you. And
that's any time. It's free any time. When you've got a system, you can literally call whenever you like, whenever you need.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome. This show is a very special presentation. Shop on TV are introducing you to, or for the second time actually, to SimpliSafe. So you're doing all your shopping tonight through SimpliSafe, simply with an I, simplisafe.co.uk. But remember the /shop TV, very important, because when you use that link or you click that barcode, which will take you to that link, or you go to our little logo on the web and follow it, it'll take you through to the same link, you are getting a massive 60% off. I mean, that is a very substantial discount. That is over half off. Where these days do you ever get 60% off? It's insane. But that is for 48 hours only. That is the power of Shop on TV, dealing directly with SimpliSafe. Sav works for SimpliSafe. She's their senior tech lead. She's the clever lady that knows more than or has forgotten more than we'll ever know. And you've got a 60% discount, yes, but also you have 2 months of free Pro monitoring included. Pro Premium, actually, the top of the range, worth £27 a month. You get 2 months of that. So basically, that's £55 worth of value added in. And you don't have to continue with it if you don't. It's actually 56 technically, but for some reason I think they rounded it down to 55. But you also get a 60-day money-back guarantee on everything. No matter what you buy tonight, you can test it, you can try it. If you don't love it, you can send it back. You're not even paying any delivery. So it's not like you've you've basically like had to pay 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 quid postage and packing, and you're out that much if you send it back. No. They'll even pay for the return shipping. So it's not like you get the system and, oh, they'll get me because I'll have to pay to return it. No, they pay for that too. Everything is right. Everything. It is totally and utterly peace of mind guaranteed, or your money back, no questions asked. Try it in your home, 60 days, 2 months. Now, if for any reason it's just too early in the morning and just like me, the last thing you want to actually do is use your brain. We do have a couple of preset packages. There are more at SimpliSafe. We've only included 2 tonight because we found last time that pretty much it's just easier to build your own system. And by the way, there is no difference. If you buy a package, the individual components of those packages are exactly the same price as the individual components if you buy them and build a bespoke system or personalize a system and customize it for yourself. So, you know, sometimes you buy a package because it's like when you buy a meal deal, isn't it? You know, if you buy the things individually, they're more expensive. Not the case here. So in other words, you can buy a package, and then if you want to buy something, you can augment it. So let's say you buy the foundation package, which gets you the base station, the keypad, the entry sensor, and the wide indoor camera. But maybe you say, you know what, I fancy having me a bell box with that, or a key fob. You just add that into your basket at the same time, and you pay for it all. And every single thing you buy, no matter what it is, if it's on SimpliSafe's website, now this includes the monitoring service, I'm talking about the hardware, 60% off absolutely everything. And let's say you bought that and you got it home and you went, I actually don't need the entry sensor. You can send that back and get a refund for the exact price that would be whether you bought it individually. It's the same in the package, and you get your money back within 60 days. So, and maybe you went, oh, but actually I could do with an extra entry sensor. Because you've bought that, as long as you buy the package, just if you buy the base package, what you need within 48 hours, SimpliSafe will honour the 60% off for 60 days after you've purchased. So anything else you think you need, decide you want, you can come back and order it and still get 60% off. After that, you can't. So that's why if you lock in this deal now, at least get the basics. Just go and do a quick sweep around your home, your premises, your shed, your garage, your caravan, your camper home, your doors, your drawers, your rooms, your windows, all of that, and just okay, I think I need this. Before you order, actually, you've got time. It's Monday now, so later in the day from 9 a.m. you can call their customer service and say, I think I need this, I think I need that. They'll ask you about your home or what have you. And they'll tell you what you need. Then you put it in your basket, pay for it immediately, because then you've locked in the deal. And if you change your mind about anything in the future, you can send it back. And if you want anything extra, you can still get 60% off. And you've still got actually up until Tuesday evening at 11:59 to decide on everything. So you've got plenty of time. Discuss it with people you need to discuss it with. Talk to loved ones if you're going to put this in for your elderly mum and dad, or grandma or grandpa, or a friend or a relative, a loved one. You can use these presumably abroad. Will the base station work with abroad within a different currency, 110?
You could use it abroad, but you wouldn't get the monitoring. So
Right.
You could only use the system as a standalone.
Fine.
Yeah. So we would recommend, if it's somewhere you actually live,
Yeah.
fine, but we only ship to the UK.
Right.
But if it's like a holiday home or something, less okay, because if something were to go wrong
wouldn't
and you're
know.
not there,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it makes it a bit more difficult.
But anywhere within the, if you have premises, like if you have a holiday home in the UK,
Yeah.
or if you have a caravan or something like that,
Yeah.
or and
People
also
protect houseboats,
houseboats, of
vans,
course,
yeah, lots of stuff like that.
light aircraft, if yachts, private jets. But also, you know what, folks? Because what I would do. My dad's still he's 83 or I think 84, still very compos mentis, and he's a DIYer and all that sort. So he'd put all of this in himself. But if you've got somebody who's not necessarily capable, but you want to watch them, maybe you've got an elderly relative. I know several people whose parents or one or both have got dementia, for example. So you could put this system in with cameras and with monitoring and stuff. You could monitor it as a family member, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
You can keep an eye on the people you care about.
Yeah, we do that a lot. And for people who are able to still use like a panic button, for example, a key fob.
Yeah.
That's a good one to have for anyone who needs it to alert you.
It could be if
I
you
need
fall
help.
down, you know,
Exactly.
it doesn't have to be a burglary. It can be you're in distress.
But we have a lot of people that use it like that, and it works well.
My elderly grandmother, who was a second mother to me, and I loved her dearly, she died when I was 16 because she had a heart attack in the middle of the night, and it took the emergency services 2 hours to get to her, you know, and it was heartbreaking. But you know, maybe it would have been if she'd had a panic button or something. They didn't exist in those days.
Yeah.
So look, this is not a sob story. It's just to say that now we have the technology that speed is of the essence, and you never know, having something that could alert people quickly could be very beneficial and even literally save lives.
And just give people a lot of peace of mind, their family. If you're not living with the person,
you're not worrying, oh my gosh, what happens if, you know,
you can always just pop in and check on your phone.
On your phone, yeah.
Yeah.
What about a Pembroke? This is for medium-sized homes. So you get a base station, a keypad. I love the keypads, obviously. The entry sensors, 3 of those, 2 motion sensors, a wired indoor camera, and a bell box. So do you want to talk us through this one, Saf?
Correct. So this one is for more of a house style. You've got a number of entry points. You've got 3 entry, you know, so front door, back door, potentially a window. You've got 2 motion sensors, so this should cover larger rooms, hallways, anywhere someone would generally pass through to move to the next area. And then you've obviously got your 3 core components, keypad, SimpliCam, and the base station.
Yeah.
So I'd say this is for, you know, any sort of just home that's got more than 1 entrance is really going to be good for.
Yeah.
Again, you can add to this at any time. If you know your home wants to grow, you did an extension or anything like that, you can simply just add to it without much hassle.
Yeah.
So,
And look, if you miss the 48-hour deadline, you'll have to pay full price, but you can still get these systems. But I'd suggest the 60% off, wouldn't you? Here are some more reviews for you. So Jacqueline said, so easy to install, so easy to set up, so simple. Even a pensioner like myself can do it. Best on the market. I mean, it is so simple. And you know, just because you're old doesn't mean you've lost your faculties or that you're stupid. So anyway, Neil says, I've just installed a SimpliSafe alarm system. I contacted them by phone and the customer service was outstanding. We talked through the setup at my house and I was given brilliant advice on the components I needed to fully protect my house. The system arrived the next day and it was so easy to install with no problems whatsoever. The product is great. On top of all of that, the price was excellent value. Very happy customer. And you know, that's what I would do. You know you've got your 60% off. You know that you've got to use that link in order to get it, or the QR code here, scan that with your phone. Just lock it in within 48 hours. But you've got today and you've got Tuesday until midnight to be able to call customer service. And please do, use that service instead of going, oh, I need to try and figure it out myself. No, get them to do it for you. That's part of the service and it's free. So they will give you tell them, they'll ask you a few questions. They will advise what you need. And you can make some notes, or you could even be on the website on a laptop or something and add the components in as they're telling you on the phone. And then make sure you check out. If you haven't checked out by midnight on Tuesday evening, you will not get the 60% off. So do it. You've got today and tomorrow to figure it all out. Make whatever decisions you need to make. Buy, pay, and from there on, it'll be on the way. Take a look at this.
At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Our advanced home security system is designed with cutting-edge technology, powered by 24/7 professional monitoring. You and your home stay safe with smarter ways to detect motion, HD security cameras, and sirens designed to stop intruders in their tracks. It all works together to protect you from burglaries, fires, floods, and more. You can control the entire system right from your phone, from anywhere, with the SimpliSafe app. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than £1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
So we've had more questions. Please ask your questions now. You know, Sam's here. She is the tech lead. I just want to ask: are there any issues with flashing lights and strobing lights and things here that might cause people problems?
no, so there's nothing major flashing light. The only spotlight we have is obviously on the outdoor camera.
Yeah.
That doesn't flash, and again, you can customize it to have it off.
Yes.
We've seen night vision is excellent. It's not needed. Yeah.
Sorry, no, carry on. No, that's me just having a thought. It just writ large on my face. Don't stop, Jeff, I gasp, yeah.
The bell box does have a red flashing light. That's outside.
Yeah.
It's not strobe effect, as in it's not that white light.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it does flash, does draw attention, but it's not going to, be super harsh.
right.
And the base station, you can kind of see the colour at the moment.
It's like a mini,
Yeah.
Alexa or what the other ones are called.
So
Yeah.
we haven't had any issues reported, everything like that, and we shouldn't see anything around that.
I had that thought when I gasped, but now I can't remember for the life of me what it was. So shall we show the doors, what do you call it, the entry sensor?
The entry sensor, yes.
Feel free to go grab one.
Over here.
And we'll show you again just how easy it is to set. And maybe we'll show the key fob. I love those key fobs, they're so good. Stick them on your key ring. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the entry sensor. You can see it's nice and small, okay?
Yeah.
It's got two parts to it. So you've got the magnet over here, okay? And then this is the sensor itself.
Yeah.
So it's got a little light over here that you can see flashes when it opens and closes.
Uh-huh.
And you can hear the sound.
Oh, so you know if someone's coming in the back door. You could use that in a shop. Oh, shops, if you've got a shop or a cafe.
Yes, you can use it for lots of things.
Yeah.
So it's really simple, and like I say, you don't have to have it square on like that for people who have wonky windows or different types of things. You can have it in front like that.
How far away can you go before it? I mean, what distance can you?
Oh, sorry, it's 5 centimeters. So you can see over here, that's about 5 now.
So any further if it beeps. So if it beeps, you know you've gone too far.
Exactly. So you've got some distance, So mine at home are probably about that far apart, the way my windows, are set. So you can see they're not flush with each other, but that's fine because the moment I go further than that, it's going to trigger.
Also, if it means if you're using it on drawers. Now, I'd use it inside the drawer, so you could have the big part on the front, the sort of the back, the inside of the front of the drawer, and the other bit perpendicular up at the top.
Absolutely.
But you also can have silent alarms. So if somebody goes, if the kids go, or the missus goes rummaging around for your Toblerone in the middle of the night. Or the other way around, you know exactly. Yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely. So it's a really simple but effective sensor that we would recommend everyone has on all your entry points.
Do you want to show us the simple pairing again? So this is, if you've tuned in, this is the base unit. Very attractive unit. It's a very small, sleek design. You put it, it's the size of one of those air fresheners or a small home assistant, centrally in your home. I'd say living room, on your coffee table or something like that. You get the keypad. You can put that anywhere you like. Does that fit flat on the wall or will it go into a corner as well?
This will fit flat. I mean, you could put it in a corner because of the way it's shaped on the edges, but probably best flat because you would have to put tape on the edge.
Yeah.
But this is the brackets, and as you can see,
so these are your stickies. Yeah.
This just slips
Are
off.
they replaceable if you do move and they're not sticky anymore?
Absolutely. So you can pull them off,
Yeah.
and then you can just put some new ones on. You can get them from us if you need new ones.
Of course.
We have a movers kit as well.
Of course you do.
So you can phone us for a free movers kit, and we'll send you sticky tapes and stuff to package up your system and make sure it moves easily so you can set it up again.
Now, obviously, can I take that back plate?
Oh, yes.
So if I'm the wall and that's stuck to the wall, when you need to change the batteries or when you move, you'd literally just you just basically lift it off and take it, change your batteries. There's a compartment on the back, see, to put your batteries, and then you just slide it back on. And you don't have to rip anything off the wall or damage anything.
Nope.
And that's the same for everything.
Exactly.
No wires, smash safe. And remember, every single component, if anyone tries to tamper with it, break it, pull it off the wall, what if they try to cover the sensors or put, like in the movies, put a chewing gum wrapper between, all of that?
Not going to work.
No.
Like I say, if anyone tries to interfere with the system electronically, it will alert you to say there's interference. You should check it out. But the base station is what sends all the signals. So as soon as anything is triggered, then they can try and smash anything. That signal is going through to the alarm sensor.
So even if they did manage to get in quickly enough, smash the keypad, smash the other sensors, smash the base station, if they're the flash.
That
or
would have
something
taken
like that.
too long.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But it doesn't matter because the minute something's detected, it's already gone through to the monitoring station. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, have a little play.
Okay, so we've added all of our sensors here, but I'll quickly show you. So as you can see, the base station's red. We had just done a previous test. There was a little bell, so I moved too quick, but it also tells you on here there was a recent alarm.
Yeah.
And so it tells you.
Can we get a
what's
close
happened.
shot of that by any
Yeah.
chance? Sorry. Oh. Okay, here we go.
You
Thank
can.
you. Yeah, we might have to tilt it forward a wee bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kieran.
There we
Appreciate
go.
it. Yeah.
Sorry, I got fingerprints on there now.
Yep, that's all right.
Oh, there
There we go.
we go. And there it is. So it tells you what sensor was triggered and when.
So is there anything we compare to show how easy it is?
Yes,
Or can you delete devices as well?
you can. So put your pin in.
Yep.
As you can see, the screen is your buttons. So we'll go to devices over here, working upside down. So we've got an entry sensor here. Let me delete this one. So you can go through all the customizations.
Yep.
I'm going to remove it.
Yep.
Yes, I'm sure.
Right.
Entry sensor.
It's so
Removed.
intuitive, isn't it? The way you
Exactly.
follow the menus.
And then I'm going to go add device. And then all I have to do is push this little button over here
Yeah.
on the sensor.
Okay.
You can see the base station is doing its
Started.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Entry sensor. Added.
There we go. And then it's going to ask me to name it.
And can you show us the sort of different options on the naming? So
Sure.
there are some presets, right?
So you've got front door, back door, garage, kitchen, basement, patio, side door, office, living room, family, like loads, master bedrooms, dining room, etc. And then you can say other,
Yeah.
and then that's when you can type in
So you can actually do your own custom name.
custom, yeah.
Batcave.
So I can say Sav's room, Bat
Sav's room.
Cave.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a more fun one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, absolutely.
Fortress of Solitude.
You can set anything that you want here.
Yeah,
So
simple.
say that once. Bathroom one.
Entry
Dungeon.
sensor.
Martha said dungeon. Okay.
And there we go.
You got
It's
to have somewhere to put the robbers if they break in, don't you? You know. And that's it. And you literally, when you get this out, all your components out of the box, you just do one after the other. Press, name, done. Press, name,
Ready
done.
to
Press,
add.
name, done.
Yeah.
Put them in situ, and that's it. It's ready to go. If the power goes out, there's a zombie apocalypse, I don't know. And what happens when the power goes out?
So we have backup batteries that last up to 24 hours. So if
Yeah.
your power was cut or just lost for whatever reason,
Yeah.
the base and the system will still work for up to 24 hours.
Uh-huh.
If there's an alarm, it's still going to send the signal through to Securitas, and you'll be able to use your system as normal.
I know it's a silly question, but I once, when I lived in LA, we had a power outage for 3 days. So presumably, after that, once the battery power is dead, that's it. You can't operate the system.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
would be it then.
But that's very rare.
Maybe you've got other rechargeable batteries that you could replace in it that would keep it going. As long as
Oh,
they're
right.
rechargeable, that's
So
fine.
so what if you plugged it into an uninterruptible power source that's got
Yeah.
several days of backup? As long as it's plugged in, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even matter. You could say, yeah, but your home internet wouldn't be working. It doesn't matter because.
You've got backup cellular connection.
And this is not cellular connection you pay for. It's not like you pop down to your local EE shop and say, can I have a little SIM card for my... It's
No.
all built in. It's SimpliSafe's network of cellular.
Exactly.
Or cellular account over...
Yes, so
So,
any
yeah.
alarm event, it will then send over cell if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection to your base.
So as long as it's got power, it's working, no matter what, even in the zombie apocalypse. Right. What else can we show? Can we show the key fob? And then we're going to do water as well. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. I wouldn't mind seeing the bell. Oh, well, the bell's up here. That's very loud, isn't
That's
it? We wouldn't set that off
probably
indoors.
too loud.
Okay.
Yeah, that could hurt
But
our
you
hearing.
pair it in the same way?
Pair it in the same way. There's a button on the back. Push it, name it, put it
It doesn't
up.
matter about the size. No matter what size it is, everything pairs in the same way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Key fob.
Okay, so key fob. So we were busy setting up on here, so we can see the base is still circling blue.
Yeah.
But I can just push off.
Yep.
Oh, have I added this one?
Maybe not. Let's do it live.
Let's see here.
And you can have as many of these paired to the system as you like.
You can.
So
Yeah.
if you
can
trust
have up to
someone-
100 sensors.
So you clean 100.
Yes.
So if you've got a cleaner, well,
Yes.
up to 100, or a trusted friend or relative, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. You can have anything.
brill.
So there we go.
Alarm
I've just
on.
pushed home, or I can push away.
Please exit now.
and the countdown starts, or I can go push off again.
Alarm off.
Now, what if there's... Oh, no, there's a panic happening. Urgh.
We can push the panic button.
Go on then.
So you got to just hold it for 2 seconds. And the alarm goes off.
Now, if you had a bell box or if you had the extra siren, would they all go off as well? Everything would go off?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've also got sirens on the outdoor cameras.
Oh!
You've got the bell box, so you can have it blaring.
Yeah. But the extra siren, which is what, 105 decibels, isn't it?
Correct.
You might want to put that around the back of the house, say, for example.
Yeah, so for the auxiliary siren,
Yeah.
or the little one.
Yeah, is that this one? Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that one we recommend for like upstairs. So let's say your base
Oh,
is
right.
downstairs in the living room.
Yeah.
Can say, oh, let's put this one upstairs, just to make sure then you're getting the same level of volume
So you
on
might
both
not need
floors.
the bell box, but
And then bell box outside.
bell box outside. But if you live in a duplex apartment, for example, then you've got upstairs and sorry, the duplex in the UK, what do they call that? Is it masonette?
Maybe.
Bi-level? I don't know.
Two-story
It's amazing,
apartments.
Two-story apartment, yeah. So you've got. There are still things in my head that are Americanisms that I don't know the British for. It's really strange. Well, I've lived half my adult life over there, so it's weird, and I encounter them every now and then. So and you could have now also if you've got a workshop. A lot of people they build an extension or down the end of the garden or something. They have either a big garage where they're working or a workshop or an office or something. You can have one of this to alert you if anything's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one, because it's an indoor one, it also repeats like the countdown. So if your alarm's on and it's been, triggered and the countdown starts before it sirens, this can repeat that. It can also repeat entry sensors opening and closing.
Right.
So if you do have like a garden room, which a lot of people did like during, pandemic and that, that will alert you and give you everything without having to be near the base station to hear it.
The little sensors, when they open, like door sensors, they bing the base station, don't they?
Yes.
So would they bing this as well?
Exactly.
So it could be, again, if you've got a shop, when a customer comes in, you've heard somebody come in. If you're around the back, doing whatever you're doing around the back. Yes. So let's do the water sensor, shall we? Because Martha said if we don't, we're going into the dungeon.
Okay.
And then we'll get back to the cameras. Again, keep your questions coming. There are no dumb questions. I'd rather you be happy. Just understand, this is a premium. It's one of the top security firms in the nation, and the only difference is that the products are in many regards much more advanced than traditional home systems, or at least on a par, and they're self-installed and there are no wires. Like, look, Ma, no wires. And this is for if you have a leaky boiler, a leaky pipe, a leaky dishwasher, a leaky washing machine, anything.
I think this one has saved so many people from disastrous situations of floods.
Leaving your bath on or your sink
Exactly.
or something.
We make these mistakes all the time, but also if you do have a serious issue, a burst pipe or something, you catch it quickly, so.
Well, I had somebody
difference.
upstairs. I woke up one morning and there was water gushing down my blind. I'm like, what is going? And someone had left their sink and it was overflowing.
Yeah.
Somebody else did it, and we had a great big wet patch in the kitchen. And then to come in and redecorate and all that sort
We'll
of stuff.
save you from all of that and save others. Obviously, these were your neighbours' mistakes. If they had the system, they wouldn't have been.
But it will save you.
issue.
It'll save you because also then you won't have to go to the expense necessarily of making repairs or claiming on insurance. Now this doesn't. Where would you put this? I mean, what would be the ideal placement on the floor? Obviously.
So basically, we only say don't do a bathroom next to a bath or a sink.
Right,
if you put it in a bathroom cupboard or in a place that's a little bit more concealed, because you don't want to accidentally trigger it all the time.
Sure.
But under a sink is great, in a utility next to a washing machine, your pipes by a boiler, any place where you wouldn't want water coming out.
Right, and anywhere there's potentially a leak. Like, I know sometimes if you don't have insulated pipes and they may burst in the winter, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
so
demonstration, please. So we've only got a little spill here, a little splash.
a little spill of water. So there's these little terminals on the bottom. As long as 2 of them touch water, it will alert you and we'll hear what the base station does.
Yep.
It's a slightly different type of alarm. If you're on the Pro Premium monitoring, you'll also get a call from Securitas to inform you that you have a water leak.
There it is, straight away.
Water sensor triggered.
And then you can just disarm,
And that's it.
Off.
give it a good old dry
Yeah.
so it doesn't continue to
Yeah.
Because it will continue to alert you until you've obviously addressed the situation.
So again, there are two types of monitoring, right? There's the premium and then the pro premium. Is that right?
There's pro monitoring and pro premium.
Pro and pro premium. Okay.
Yes.
We're giving you the top of the range, 2 months of the pro premium for £55 or £55 worth of value. You get that absolutely free. You get 60% off any bespoke system. No matter what system you build, you get 60% off the hardware, okay? There are some preset packages or pre-made, pre-packaged packages, which you can either add to or indeed take away from, entirely up to you. But the easiest way, and most people, last time something like 80% of you just built your own system. The website is so easy to follow. It's so, I mean, everything is so clearly explained. So need help choosing? Look, it takes you through the whole thing. Are you in a flat? Are you in a house? It'll walk you through. It shows you the SimpliSafe difference. And it doesn't matter if you can't work it out on your own. You call somebody today or tomorrow, as long as you've checked out and paid by midnight to get the 60% off, you're locked in. There's the one lady waiting for your call. These are all, it's not an outsourced call center. It is in-house. Everyone is an expert in Manchester on these systems, and they can answer any and every question you may have. They know more about these systems than you would ever need to ask questions about. That you can say, right, I've got this type of house, I've got these rooms. They'll ask you whatever they need to know to recommend to you what you should buy. Stick all that in your basket, place an order. It'll be with you probably next day, depending on when you order it. You can install it really, really simply, but if you're not happy with that, you can even get someone to do it for you.
When it comes to keeping your home safe, what if, wherever you were, you could get around-the-clock monitoring from security experts? Always ready to send help in case of an emergency or a break-in.
Not on my watch.
Meet SimpliSafe's industry-leading 24/7 security monitoring. With our most comprehensive monitoring plan, you'll have real people powered by SimpliSafe's cutting-edge technology and Securitas expertise, keeping an eye on your home. If your alarm is triggered, our team will act fast to confirm what's happening at your home. In case of a break-in, our team can dispatch a security guard to your home and use SimpliSafe technology to visually confirm if there's an intruder, where we'll also alert the police, so you don't have to. And if your sensors detect any other type of emergency, we'll alert the fire brigade too. Criminals deterred, emergencies sorted, your home protected. Extra peace of mind, less than £1 a day. No contracts, no commitments. With our Pro Premium plan, your alarm is never ignored. Our security monitoring team has your back. SimpliSafe 24/7 security monitoring. Like having your own personal security team. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Do forgive me that when this couch, it's not conducive to sitting elegantly, so I'm not slouching, I promise. If you've just joined us, this is SimpliSafe. You are shopping tonight, today and tomorrow from SimpliSafe, simply with an I, safe.co.uk, but make sure you go to /shop TV. If you don't, you will not get the 60% off. You will not pass go, you will not get £200. So you've got to do that to get your 60% off, but everything you need is there. You can build your own system starting at £114 for the basics of what you absolutely need, and then you can add whatever you want, and there are also some preset packages if that's easier for you to just order one of those, but you can return items you don't need or add items you do need, and still, as long as you've locked in the deal, within 48 hours you will get 60% off any other accessories for 60 days, free shipping on everything, 60 day money back guarantee. If you're not happy, if you don't love it, after you've tried it and tested it, you can send it back and get every single penny of your money back. Your security, both peace of mind and also home security or business security, is guaranteed. Should we look at the app again?
Yes, absolutely.
Have a little look around your home and your garden and your environs.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll have a look here. So this is at what we call our home screen. If we can see it, yeah.
Yep.
So it looks really similar to the keypad in the sense it's got the off, home and away buttons.
Yep.
So here from the touch of a button, we can change it. I'm not going to change mine. My partner is at home in bed.
Of course.
I might not want to scare him.
No, probably. Although that would be fun. No. I hope you warned him. But
yes, I did.
Just in case. Yeah. And this app, by the way, Android, iOS. Is there a minimum that you need in terms of operating system?
Yeah, it's you put me on the spot now.
Sorry.
It's iOS 15, I think, is the minimum, and for Android it's 12.
Oh, okay. So quite a few versions back.
Yeah, so you don't need a brand new phone for it. A couple years is fine,
Okay.
but it can't be like, 7, 8 years old, because then it tends to just not get the support it needs.
Yes,
But,
yes.
if you have a fairly recent device, you're fine. Works on
Tablet
iPad,
as well as phone? Okay.
iPad, Android tablets, etc. Anything that can get an app, it can work on.
So even Windows 11, where you can run Android apps, you could run it off if
you can even go onto your computer. We have a web app
you
as
have
well.
a web app as well? Of course you
Yes.
Sorry. Stupid me. I should just realise, if I can think of it, they already thought about it years ago. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so web app, if you're at work, maybe you can't have your phone with you, you
Yeah.
can always log into your accounts and check your cameras and your system and everything still.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Take us through the whole app, if you would, and just quickly,
Yeah.
just so we can see how easy it is to use.
Sure, so you can see, like, in the overview, you know your state, you know what's happened recently, temperature sensors I've got on there, they show up. At the bottom, you've got a few different tabs. I'm going to go to my cameras tab.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, I can then go in and live view all of my cameras. So I've got a couple outdoor, couple indoor.
And as soon as you pair a new camera to the base station, so if you decide you want an extra camera or two or something, they automatically show up there?
Absolutely. So you do all the adding through your app.
Ah,
Yes.
right.
So that's how you pair it through here.
see.
You can do it through the keypad, but it's more beneficial doing it through here.
They've got to
'cause you've
connect to Wi-Fi, haven't they?
Exactly, yeah. So it makes it a little bit easier.
Right, got it.
So you've got all your cameras there, you've got all your settings, you can customize it. So we'd spoken a little bit before about what it does in each mode, how it detects motion, so it can be high, all motion, people only. You've got it if you need to block out any areas. Like I know for me,
So look at that, tap the zone on there. Tap the zones you don't want to receive alerts for.
Yeah.
So that's where, if you've got a big pet or something like that, you could tap out the bottom, couldn't you, presumably?
yeah, absolutely.
You've got a chicken coop, or I don't know,
Something.
something.
Especially if people are doing it with all motion, you might have, because then it really is all motion. So if you have like a big tree or a bush that tends to fly around or something like
or a
that.
gate that bangs, or
Exactly, then you could just block
Weather
out that
vane.
little section,
Yeah,
and then you're not annoyed by it.
yeah.
But yeah, indoor and
genius.
outdoor, you have everything. And like I mentioned before, you've got the sirens as well on the cameras.
So the cameras have got sirens. They are sensors as well as cameras.
Exactly.
And they've all got spotlights. You said
The outdoor
ones.
cameras all have spotlights, correct?
I mean,
So you can change
crikey.
that.
I actually want to buy a big house just so I can have this system. I mean,
It
this
is
is
fun.
so advanced, but it's advanced technology made simple to use.
Absolutely.
Ian's asked about the range on the cameras
As in distance that I can see.
from the base, I guess.
Well, there's two ways. So distance from the base is around 100 foot. That's an example given because it depends on the layout as well. If you've got 15 walls between the base and the camera, that might cause an issue. But if it's a standard house setup, 100 foot generally works.
What would you do in that case? Would you use a Wi-Fi repeater or something?
Definitely.
That would work?
Definitely, yeah. So anything, basically, if you go out with your phone
Yeah.
and you can get a Wi-Fi connection wherever you want to put the camera, it will work.
It's in range for the base
Yeah,
station.
it's a great way to test it.
Oh, brilliant! And by the way, Wi-Fi repeater is just something that extends. They call it an extender, I think.
Yeah.
Extends your Wi-Fi signal. So if you've got a Wi-Fi signal, you've got connectivity.
Yeah.
And what about the range of the cameras as well? What kind of field of view do they have? Do you know, or do they vary?
Yeah, it kind of varies. The motion detection, it's like all AI now, so it's not necessarily how far it is. So depending on your customizations, it's more about what type of movement it is in the picture.
Yeah.
So if we have a look here, like this is my front
So this is
yard.
it's a smart scan that AI is monitoring
Yeah.
to check to kind of
Because you
figure out
can
what's going on.
select people only or
Yeah.
all motion. So
Right.
it will go, right, that's a person, I'm going to alert them and record this. Or
Right.
that's not a person, I'm not going to alert or record this.
What's tap to speak do? I mean, that sounds like a stupid question, but what's it for?
It's two-way audio.
No.
So I can hear everything that goes on, but I can also speak out. So
Oh,
someone was
get
there
some of
now,
those
they'll
in the
get it
gallery.
right. Yeah, but it's great
Or
for,
my dressing room.
I don't know, the postman or the delivery comes and, they need
Right.
something, you can go, hey.
Or hello,
sorry.
who are you?
Or that,
Right.
or if you've got pets outside, you can chat to them or whatever.
Right.
You know, you can
Chat to the local wildlife.
yeah, if you want. Absolutely.
That's amazing. And they all have that feature.
Yeah, all of our cameras.
So even if
Indoor
you
and
don't have a two-way, if you don't have a doorbell, then you can, if you've got a camera showing your front porch, you can still communicate with people. You've still got that safety feature.
Absolutely.
And then it records into the cloud, right? But how does that, who's doing that? Where's it going to?
Yeah.
Can people spy on you?
No, so our privacy is very important to us. So if you have a look, especially with the indoor cameras, people go, right, I don't want it recording me. Therefore, I don't want a camera. My privacy is very important. And of course, we've considered that.
Yep.
So the recording function is a necessary feature in order to verify incidents, to be able to get authorities out to you.
Got it.
But we always put the customer in control. So for each state of the alarm, you can go and tell, do you want it to detect motion or yes or no? You can say no, and your shutter, there's a physical shutter on the camera, will close automatically.
Right.
Yes. So you can do that for each.
So you can toggle that on and off depending on circumstances.
On and off, exactly. So you decide as to when it detects motion. You've also got the video verification at the bottom, which gives permission to the monitoring centre to view the recordings. These recordings are only from the alarm event itself. They can't just go view everything.
They can't go back, you know, half an hour and see what was going on in the kitchen before the alarm went off.
Absolutely not. Just for the alarm event itself and anything that continues within the alarm.
And they also,
event.
they can't, you know, the security centre, they can't just decide to go, oh, let's see what, you know, Bill and Jean are doing tonight.
Absolutely.
There's no way they can access the system whatsoever.
I've seen
It's
it in
only if an
real
alarm-
life with my own system when an alarm went off. There is no way they can access anything without it being an actual alarm.
So just to be sure, or if let's say I'm at home with a date and we're watching, you know, we're watching Netflix or some other streaming service, and there's a camera behind me, what am I? Is there and it's all on and it's being monitored? Is that motion triggering something that's going to allow the camera to be viewed, or what would set the alarm off in that situation?
So it would only be the wireless indoor camera that can set off an alarm. Right. So if it was a SimpliCam and it was open and recording motion, that's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to record the video, saves into a cloud.
So that's for your private viewing only?
You're on your timeline that you have over here, you can then see what motion has been detected.
I see.
You can view your recording and you can download it.
So you can see that on your app.
Exactly.
So, but I presume the system would have to be armed, and only then, if with the camera, and then you'd be gone, but you'd be away by that point. If the camera then detected motion, it would set off an alarm, and then and only then, the monitoring service can look at to see
what was
on.
That trigger, that recording specifically.
Yeah. Should we talk? We've got loads of questions. We're going to get to all of them, I promise. Should we talk a bit about the monitoring and the Pro monitoring and the Pro Plus, or the Pro? I'll get it right one day. Pro Premium, that is what we're giving you 2 months for free for 55. Well, what SimpliSafe?
Absolutely. So Pro Premium monitoring is the one we recommend, okay, because it's going to give you the most cover for a really good price and peace of mind, essentially. So you're always going to get dispatch. Now that can vary, and this is the important part. If you have an alarm event and there's no verification, either there's nothing that's appeared on the cameras or you haven't given the monitoring centre permission to view your cameras, then they would send out a guard. Now this is really important if you're away on holiday and maybe you don't have neighbours that can check on your home for you.
And that's anywhere in the
like
UK,
that.
yeah?
Anywhere in the UK.
Highlands and Islands as well?
Yes.
Right.
The Highlands might be a little bit longer in terms because it's remote, obviously, but we do cover the whole of the UK.
Okay.
So that's important if you're away. They can go and check on your home for you, right? They go and check all the exterior. Can they see anything untoward? Was there break-in? They'll report back yes or no. Obviously, if there was something, they'll then
deal with it while they're there. Yeah.
Get the police out, you know, whatever it is that they need, and then obviously just inform you.
Yeah.
So that's what you have with the Pro Premium. You've also got a lifetime warranty on all the products. So if anything were to go wrong, which is unlikely because I'm the tech lead, I make sure that things work well.
Sure.
But if anything were to go wrong, we obviously we'll replace it for you. We'll sort out whatever needs to be sorted out.
Yes, yes.
You also get 20% discounts on all products for lifetime.
Right.
So, as I mentioned earlier, you get it on the 60% now, which is our best deal we do the entire year.
Yeah.
You might want to add a couple more things within the next 2 months. But let's say in 2 years' time, you move house, you need a few more sensors. You then know that you'll always have 20% off,
Right.
which is great.
Yeah.
You obviously have your cell backup, which is for the monitoring service. Pro and Pro Premium have that feature. So if your Wi-Fi was down, you could still access your app.
So the 20% off is if you're a continuous subscriber of Pro Premium?
Yeah, correct.
Right, yeah.
So it's a good benefit to have.
So if you're subscribing, you're getting the 20%. If you stop subscribing, you're not.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
also, as you said, that presumably you can pay by credit card, debit card, standard kind of thing. You subscribe online. But you can just do it for a limited period of time. So if you don't feel, because you're home a lot, there's a need to have any of the monitoring on an ongoing basis, or maybe you don't have the budget. If you've got the budget, then of course you do it for peace of mind, don't you? But if you don't, or you don't want to, you don't consider it worthwhile all the time, then if you go away somewhere, even if it's only for a few days, and you have to pay. You have to pay for a month, but you can start it. Literally, do it the day before you go, or even the day before, or the day of, but before you leave the house, right?
Yeah.
You pay for that month, and then you don't have to continue the subscription. You're not locked into a contract. You can use it as a convenience as and when, right?
Absolutely. And we're not a hard sell company, product or service. We sell you what you need. The monitoring, as long as you're aware of what your level of coverage is changing to, you can cancel. Like, we're not going to.
And if you went for just the pro coverage, what's the difference between the two?
So the Pro just doesn't do any dispatch. So we're here to inform you, to let you know of what's going on. So if an alarm happens, that signal will go through to Securitas.
Yeah.
You've got obviously your contacts that you put in.
Yeah.
So you've got, yourself, partners, neighbours, family members.
Yeah.
They'll make sure they call everyone to let them know.
So it's a
there's an
basic
alarm.
level of cover. But I mean,
Exactly.
look, you go big or go home, right? Because at the end of the day, if you have, especially given that you can use it in a bespoke way, or you can just continue subscribing to it. Look, if your alarm goes off, what do you want? You want the police to come, right? Or if there's a fire or a flood, you want the fire brigade to come. And so you get all of, and when you think about it, £27 a month, what it would cost to send out a security, because a guard goes to your home first to assess if there's no, as you said, they can't verify there's an event on. If there's an event, presumably the police or whatever the event
Exactly.
is are immediately dispatched.
Yes.
But if there's any doubt, they send a person out. I mean, that costs that's a person's salary.
Yeah.
And
They go
and
for like-
for £27 a month.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay someone to do that for £27 a month.
No, you couldn't.
No, not even. Well, maybe £27 an hour. Right, let's do some questions, shall we? Sure. Tanya, hi Tanya, how you doing? She would like to know about the help centre, because everyone has. Is your customer service award winning?
Yes, it is.
I was going to say, I should think it needs to be.
4.9 Trustpilot rating. I
Trustpilot,
think,
yeah. So specifically your help centre on the web. Do you want to talk us through that?
Absolutely. So this is obviously everything about all of our products and services. Since we are a DIY system, we've made it really easy for people to also find answers themselves if they want to.
Yeah.
Not everyone likes to call or have to chat to someone to get to an answer. So this help centre focuses quite deeply on all of our products. So you've got everything from battery to power, Wi-Fi, errors or warnings. What do they mean? How do I customize something? You can go to our features and settings. If you need to troubleshoot something, it could be that you have a Wi-Fi issue or a connection issue and you're trying to figure out why. We really go into depth with everything here. There's videos, there's step-by-step guides, there's how-to guides. We also have a community, which is really good. People can ask questions. You can see what the official responses have been.
Sure.
You can also
like a sort of Reddit for SimpliSafe.
exactly, yeah. First know about announcements, any updates, most wanted features. You can request things like that.
Yeah.
So the help centre is really good if you just want to learn more, or if you need help.
It's the first stage, isn't it? You try the FAQs, and if they don't work, and I've seen some shocking FAQs on websites in the past, and your brain ends up pouring out your ear.
Yeah.
So then you go to try and get hold of somebody, and they have, now it's all the AI driven, chat bots, and it's like they don't answer your question. They give you, oh, it drives me lally.
Our live chats are still person.
Still a person,
still a
yeah.
person, yeah.
So if you don't have a chance to get to a phone, or you don't have your phone with you, but you've got your computer, you can still chat to somebody.
Exactly.
But then you can also talk to a real person if you decide. And it's not like waiting on the phone for your business is important to us. Please hold. 60 minutes later, somebody answers the phone.
No, we're really quick to respond. We've hardly ever got wait times. Obviously, our Securitas monitoring centre is open 24/7.
Yeah.
But during our hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 7, you very easily get through to us.
Can we talk about insurance here? Because I think the last time we did this show, something was about to happen with insurance.
Yes.
Are there any benefits to having this system with insurance premiums?
So we don't have, well, in the UK, really, insurances don't necessarily discount based on whether you have a system or not. They want to know if you have a system. It's the discounts that's a bit tricky. You know, people try and get it. But what we have recently launched is a monitoring certificate that people can give to their insurance companies, which just makes it really easy for the person to communicate to insurance. This is the level of cover I currently have in my home.
Right.
Does that do anything for the insurance? That's up to the insurance.
That's up to the insurance. Yeah, of course. And that's true of any alarm system.
Yeah.
But also more specifically, I think from where I'm coming at this from is, let's say you had a break-in and you've got cameras and all of this sort of stuff, and they managed to get away with something. Does that count as evidence to the insurance company and the authorities? Yeah,
so the police really like to have, you know, these sorts of videos. It supports them in their investigations and what they need to do. For insurances, it's proof of incidents. So absolutely, if you've got the Pro Premium, you've got the recording, make sure you download it within your 30 days storage.
Yes.
And you can, you know, it will make life a lot easier when you have to go through the motions of claiming.
I mean, that should be really your number one thing to do, isn't it? If you have an incident, download the footage right away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You do get 30 days, but just without running the risk.
Yeah.
And also, then it's fresh in your mind. You know, the time something's happened. You know, there's nothing worse, believe me, I've had to do it, scrubbing through hours of security footage because you can't remember what time it happened.
Yeah,
you know, kind of thing. So Julie has a question. Julie, she's tried to Google the Shop TV link. No, Google will not work, because this is, it's not a secret link, but it is a private link that is for Shop on TV viewers. It's like a guest list for Shop on TV. Now, you can share it with your friends, but there are 3 ways you get to it. Directly, so go to your browser and type into the address bar, simply with an iSafe, simplisafe.co.uk/Shop TV. If you have a modern smartphone, you can open up your camera, point it at that. Depending on the size of your TV, you might need to zoom in on your screen. I know I do sometimes. That will take you there. And the other way to do it is you can go to the Shop on TV website, shopontv.co.uk. There's the front page. Scroll down and you'll get to our partners, and there is SimpliSafe there, and that will take you there. You'll know it's right because it will say special offer with a 60% off. If you go to just simplisafe.co.uk, you will not get your discount. You can add all the stuff to your basket, go to checkout, no discount. You've got to do the /Shop TV. And as I say, this is what Shop on TV is all about. We bring you amazing offers, amazing deals. If you've never seen us before, we're your late night shopping show between midnight and 3 a.m. every single night on ITV1 and STV. And it's worth tuning in every night. Now, sometimes not sometimes, always our start time will vary. Just check your EPG to see what time we're on, and at least have a little look before you go to bed, because the bargains will save you a lot of money. And tonight, not only can it save you a lot of money in terms of the price, and remember, when you go to build your system or buy a package at the shop, the simplisafe.co.uk /Shop TV, those prices are the full prices. You will only see the 60% discount once you've added them to your basket, and then you will be amazed at what you've saved. Now, the foundation package, this is basically the very, very minimum you can get. And you basically start with this, so you add this to your basket, and then you add accessories. You build your own system. In fact, you can't buy accessories, right, without the foundation, so presumably it will automatically add it anyway, right?
Absolutely. You always need the 3 core components.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is only £114. So, you know, you get that and a couple of cameras. I mean, there was... I think it was the glass breaking sensor or one of the sensors that was $19.99. Water sensor. With the 60% discount, that goes to $7.99.
It's a good deal.
It's a very good
deal. It's the best deal you'll get all year.
Well, and I think it's, to be honest, the best deal you'll get on a security system, full stop, period, the end.
True.
So starter package. Now this package is basically, if you don't want to do your own bespoke builder system, this is just a basic system for a small size flat or something, you know, studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. You get the base station keypad, the entry sensor, the motion sensor, and a wired indoor camera. And that is £128 and saving you £191.95. If you've got a regular home, I'd say, you know, 3 up, 2 down kind of thing, then you're going to go for your Pembroke, which is 1 base station, a keypad, 3 entry sensors, 2 motion sensors, a wired indoor camera, and a bell box. And if you've got a big home, then you can just build from there, really, or build your own system. Just do a little count later today when you wake up, how many rooms you've got, how many entrances you've got, just so it's fresh in your mind. And you can either figure out yourself what you need, if that tickles your fancy, or of course you can just call customer service between 9, SimpliSafe customer service between 9 and 7, 9 a.m, 7 p.m, 7 days a week, and just talk to them and do a free consultation with them. They'll tell you exactly what you need, add it in, but you've got to check out, you have to check out at this link with all of your products by Tuesday night at midnight, 11:59:59, or that 60% goes away and you will not be able to get that discount on it. But once you do lock it in and you've bought that system, no matter what it is, if there are items you find you end up not needing, you can return them and get a full refund. And if there's anything else you need that you didn't think of that you go, actually I could have done with one of those, you can buy that still for the 60% off for up to 60 days. They will honour the 60% off for 60 days. And there is a 60-day money-back guarantee off everything.
At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Our advanced home security system is designed with cutting-edge technology, powered by 24/7 professional monitoring. You and your home stay safe with smarter ways to detect motion, HD security cameras, and sirens designed to stop intruders in their tracks. It all works together to protect you from burglaries, fires, floods, and more. You can control the entire system right from your phone, from anywhere, with the SimpliSafe app. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than £1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Can you show us how to pair a camera, or do something with a camera, or is that too complex on the air?
We haven't got the right Wi-Fi for it,
Yes.
Unfortunately not.
Sorry.
But I can kind of talk you through it because it's really simple.
Sure. Which one do you want to do?
If you pass me that outdoor
This one?
yeah.
Okay. So this is the outdoor one that's got the floodlight.
Yeah.
And it's also a sensor and it's also an alarm.
Correct. And I can actually show you how easy it is because people might think this might be difficult to install as well. But it's actually got a very strong magnet.
Oh.
Okay. So this is the piece that you will pair to the wall.
Okay.
There's a bracket on here that you then turn off, screw that in, turn the magnet on, and then once this is on the wall, you literally just drop that on. And it's easy because you can turn it on the magnet to get
slick.
it right. Yeah. It's really good and it's really strong. So people sometimes worry like, will it fall off?
Well, what if somebody ran up to the camera and pulled it off?
They could.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually had any reports of that in the last 3 years that we've
Really?
had the camera.
Okay. Well, I suppose the alarm would go off before they got close enough.
Well, it wouldn't trigger the alarm,
the
camera, but you would obviously have the motion detector. They would be on camera.
Yes.
And you're generally installing the 6 to 8 foot high.
Right.
Someone would have to be, pretty, well, you could reach 6 foot, but like, it's not something that people are going to go stare in the face.
Well, you'd also have to have a whole system for it to work anyway, so why would you bother in the first place?
Yeah, and if someone's going to take it, that's obviously a warning to you that someone's maybe looking at your house and want to get rid of your cameras.
Yeah.
So you've probably got more to worry about than someone taking your camera.
So with the Pro Premium monitoring, would that event be, what would happen in that scenario?
Yeah, so it would record the motion. So you would have the event, download that, you could give that to the police. Obviously, they've not broken in, so you wouldn't have an alarm, but you have something to support your claim and
they would send the authorities out. Because if they're snatching that, as you say, they're probably then doing that because they're trying to maybe get into the house.
Exactly.
Right, okay, let's see a demo, shall we? Yeah.
So on the back, it might be a little bit difficult just to see because it's all black here. These cameras are battery operated,
Yeah.
okay, but you also have the opportunity to hardwire it, as in you can plug it into power.
Right, right.
Never have to worry about charging the battery again.
No.
Battery should last about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then over
How do you know when it's getting low?
Oh, it'll tell you.
It'll tell you, okay.
Low battery is around 30%. It will give you the warning. So
Okay.
you've got a few days or
Right.
weeks,
Yeah,
depending
yeah.
how quickly it's used. But you've got a little button over here.
Yeah.
So when you go on the app, you go to your cameras, add a camera,
Yeah. Press the button and it shows up.
press the button, it pairs, and then it takes you through the Wi-Fi setup, how to customize your camera, all the motion detection,
Oh, it
etc.
sounds really
And you're
hard,
done.
Sav. Press
Tough.
two buttons, press and tap.
Very
tap the app, press a button. Right. Okay. So
that's
should we?
how-
Yeah. Should we hear it talking and pair something?
Absolutely.
Or is there anything we haven't paired yet that we could pair that would be fun?
We could pair the panic button.
Ooh, great idea. I feel like having a bit of a panic. Where is the panic button? It's this one here that says panic on it.
Let me just make sure I haven't.
I've got the Douglas Adams version. It says don't panic.
I think I added all of them on,
Panic
but I'll
button.
remove it.
Okay. No one got that, did they, Rich?
No, sorry.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, I actually like that movie,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It was a book originally, but the book says on the front of it, don't panic.
Right. Oh, of course. I can see it now in my head. Okay. Right, so we're going to add a sensor. So I'll quickly just, for viewers at home, there we go. See it over there. So menu, you always have to enter your PIN. Don't put this PIN in because it's pointless.
No.
But your screen is the button, so you can move up and down. We just simply go to devices, and then we're going to say add device. The base goes into a setup mode, and then you take your sensor. Now the panic one doesn't have a little button on the top like the rest do, because it has an actual button.
Yeah, yeah.
So in this case, I'm just going to push the panic for a couple seconds,
Yep.
and it will add. Install your device. Maybe I didn't delete this one.
Maybe not.
There we go.
Panic button. Added.
There we go.
So hard.
And then you name it. So you
Yeah.
basically say, where is this panic button going to
Yeah.
be? Master bedroom, closet, kitchen, upstairs, etc. And you'll just select it.
Panic button. Name.
And I know it'll be on you. You don't have to name it. You could customize it, I suppose, if you wanted to. But maybe you have got one upstairs, one downstairs, because you can stick the panic button to the wall.
Yeah.
So it could be an installed panic button rather than one you carry around with you, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
And
I
actually, if you're going to carry one around, you're probably best going with a key fob.
yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
So, if you've got an elderly relative, or somebody who's sick, somebody who's convalescing, somebody who's bedridden, panic button next to their bed just in case they need assistance. It doesn't have to be for burglaries. It can be for quality of life for people who need assistance.
Yeah, and the key fob's a great one. Maybe you've had an operation, you're bedridden,
Yeah.
but people need to come in and out the house, or are coming to support you. You've got the panic button at your disposal, but you can also arm and disarm your system. So
Right.
if someone leaves the house, you want to feel protected, you put it in home mode.
Yeah.
Then you can let them in, and it just makes
Yeah.
it really easy. So many ways.
Should we do a motion sensor again? Now, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being thick. Oh, that's the glass. There it is. Can you set it so that the alarm goes off immediately?
Yes. So you will need to customize it.
Yeah, but it is doable.
Alarm off.
So in the system, if we go to the device, we've got the motion sensor.
You'll have to. Sorry, can you point it to
Sorry.
camera 3 for us, please? Thank you. This one over
there we
here.
go.
Yeah, just-
Okay. Motion living room, and then you can customize it here. So you can say exactly what it does. I want to say instant trigger
Yeah.
on.
On.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So now I'm going to arm the system. Oh, let me go
Hold on,
out
while you're
here.
doing that, Sav, I'm going to go run over here. Can I cross the camera? Right, sorry.
Please exit now.
Going over here.
Okay, so we're going to let the system arm.
Yep.
Now the thing with the motion sensor is that it looks out and down, so you don't want it this far back on a shelf.
Okay.
So that's why that's.
And you could
moved
put them on a
forward.
shelf then, I suppose, if you need it.
Yeah, you
absolutely
could.
need
Mine
it.
are just stood there, So
Let me know when I should try and stealth in.
Sure. So during this time, whilst the alarm's setting, the motion sensor calibrates to the ambient temperature in the room.
Yeah.
So the moment that ambient temperature is disturbed, changes, that's what triggers the motion sensor to go, there's motion, okay, because it's all using temperatures adjustments.
And now, of course, we've set it to instant trigger. So whereas before it started the countdown to an alarm.
Exactly.
But if you wanted something to alert you immediately if somebody came in, which is that's the bit that my brain was trying to contend.
Absolutely.
And it's only $14.99 with your discount for an extra motion sensor.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Peanuts.
Price. Pretty good price.
Oh, alarm primed. Okay, I'm keeping very still. Are we ready, everybody?
Yes. I'm hoping that your ambient temperature.
Oh, is my part of the ambient temperature? Oh no! Oh, I've been. Quick, call the Rozzers! No, because I was standing right in front of it when it was calibrating, so it adjusted to my body heat. But it's, I mean, even then.
But it's really good because as soon as you get a little bit closer, it detects the heat. It will function. In any case, it's just a good example to show people that you shouldn't be in front of your motion sensor when you're setting
it. No,
because you just.
I did that deliberately for that very reason, Sab.
But you can see it works really well of detecting motion.
Happy customers everywhere with SimpliSafe, ladies and gentlemen. So Benjamin says everything's easy. Ordering the right system, easy. Setup, easy. App controls, easy. Everything just works so well. It's a great system. Feels high quality, works exceptionally well. Everyone in the family is getting it now. And Charles says, fast delivery, good communication. I reviewed a lot of systems and SimpliSafe scored high on all reviews. Alarm system, very easy to set up, extremely user-friendly and flexible and easy to monitor with the app. Very impressed with the whole setup and the ease of use. Would recommend.
When it comes to keeping your home safe, what if, wherever you were, you could get around-the-clock monitoring from security experts? Always ready to send help in case of an emergency or a break-in.
Not on my watch.
Meet SimpliSafe's industry-leading 24/7 security monitoring. With our most comprehensive monitoring plan, you'll have real people powered by SimpliSafe's cutting-edge technology and Securitas expertise, keeping an eye on your home. If your alarm is triggered, our team will act fast to confirm what's happening at your home. In case of a break-in, our team can dispatch a security guard to your home and use SimpliSafe technology to visually confirm if there's an intruder, where we'll also alert the police, so you don't have to. And if your sensors detect any other type of emergency, we'll alert the fire brigade too. Criminals deterred, emergencies sorted, your home protected. Extra peace of mind, less than £1 a day. No contracts, no commitments. With our Pro Premium plan, your alarm is never ignored. Our security monitoring team has your back. SimpliSafe 24/7 security monitoring. Like having your own personal security team. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Now, I think we've covered just about every question, but I have found a couple here. Can I use my Apple Watch in conjunction with the system, or Android Watch?
You can. We have widgets for Android and Apple. So you can get, like, obviously the status overview of the arm state. You can get on your phone, you can also get the widgets. All your notifications come through Apple Watch. So that's what I always use, first place I check. So yes, you can. The only thing you can't do is arm from your Apple Watch, but you'll be able to see the overview and get all the notifications.
You can't arm from your arm.
Correct.
Sorry. Can I change or upgrade my plan at any point?
You can. So upgrading, you can just do in the app. Because you're increasing the level of security, we don't have to go through any questions with you. Cancelling the game, you can do it any time. We make it really simple and easy for you to do.
So you cancel it, and then at the end of that month period you paid for, it just the monitoring stops.
It cancels immediately.
Oh, does it really?
Yes.
Oh, so you can just do it for days then, can you?
Yeah. So you can activate Monday and cancel Wednesday.
No way.
In the future, we will have it so that when you call to cancel, it'll be at the end of your billing for that month.
Yes, yes.
But at the moment, it's instantaneous.
But that's good because it means you don't have to pay. If you're only away for 2 weeks, you don't have to pay for a month when you're only away for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it will pro-rata it. So you pay up front for your monitoring. But if you were to cancel 2 weeks into the month, the next time you activate it, you would have like a prorated amount.
I see.
You would
Oh,
have
okay.
a credit on your account, essentially.
That's phenomenal. I mean, I've tried so hard to catch you out. I really have. If batteries are running low?
Batteries are running low, depending if it's within its normal lifetime. So, you know, we say 1 to 3 years. If it's at 3 years, you can buy it. But if you're Pro Premium, you'll get 20% off from us. You can buy your own. If it's unusually early to die, then we'll happily replace it.
Are they regular batteries? Are they special batteries then?
No, they're special. No, they're regular batteries.
They're regular
sorry.
batteries. Okay, yeah. So okay, so you can't just get the good ones, but they last. Depending on the sensor, they could last for years. You know, which is incredible. Let's talk about pets again, just because obviously that's going to be a big one. If you've got a pet, what do you do? You know, is it going to set the alarm off?
So the only one that could potentially is the motion sensor, but we've designed the motion sensor so that if your pet is under 35 pounds, it won't trigger it. Yeah. If you have a pet over 35 pounds, then we have some tips and tricks to avoid false activation of the motion sensor, and that's usually just around placement.
Internet, because this all works off of a Wi-Fi, home Wi-Fi connection. If that goes down, what happens?
So your cameras require Wi-Fi to operate, okay, but your base station and your sensors do not. So if your Wi-Fi was dropped, your sensors still stay connected to everything, and your base station can still send an alarm signal to our monitoring center during an alarm event.
So that begs the question, can you have a system if you don't have Wi-Fi in your home?
You can. You can't have cameras.
No.
But you can have a system. If you just want to do like a deterrent, be able to, you can still monitor.
Would the monitoring still work?
The monitoring will still work, but you just won't have the cameras which give the visual verification. But absolutely you can have it if you don't have Wi-Fi. You know, people who are renovating or maybe not living in their home at the moment will have, you know, no Wi-Fi, but they'll still have a system because...
You make a good point, because that's just occurred to me. If you're renovating and you've got, you know, open walls and expensive, you know, the contractors have got equipment lying around and stuff like that, you can actually alarm it all, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So the only thing, like I say, you won't be able to see, but you'll be able to be notified of an alarm. You can run and check.
But if you've got Wi-Fi in the rest of the house, you can. Last, I don't know where the time's gone tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You make sure you get your system. Honestly, we've got 5 minutes. So would you mind showing us a little around the app for the final time?
Sure. So overview page, I can see what state the system is in. So I've got off, home and away. By a touch of a button, I can change it. I won't change mine now because my partner is at home and I don't want to scare him. But I can see like recent activity. I can see the temperatures of my temperature sensors. I've got my camera tab and my timeline, so I can see exactly what has happened on my system. Each event has a recording that I can then click in and download. And I can obviously go and live view any of my cameras at any time. So over here is a great example just to show you, like, you know, it's almost 3 in the morning. I don't have much light out at home. This is in night vision just to show you how great the visuals are on it.
God, you know, I've been meaning
and
all
you
night.
can zoom.
Oh my God!
So you can zoom in, you know, to anything that you need.
Lead with that next time. do you know what can you zoom into like a tyre or something? As close as you can. Do you know, the thing I've been meaning to say all night is look at the clarity of the image. You know, the old days of, and even the new days, the modern day CCTV, sometimes, you know, you see a burglar and they've just got a blurry face. It's like, come on, people, we've got HD cameras these days, surely. And that's what these are, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can just scroll like to any of your other cameras, etc. to be able to see. That's an indoor one over there. They all got two-way audio, so you can speak. Oh, my partner might hear me.
But your partner could be at home having dinner, and you could be on your way home, and you could just say, you could literally, instead of calling, you could just do it over the camera.
It's a new way of
communication. Well, hey, communication's communication, right?
And then you've obviously got all your settings. You can customize. You can do your visual verification permissions. So everything can be done in app. You've obviously then got like your actual system, the hardware here. So you've got your monitoring, which is your location settings, base station. You can customize everything. You can set the volume of it all. You know, so there's just everything can be done in here.
You know what? When I get a new app, I just comb through the app. I go through every menu. Like you know, when I got my new TV and soundbar, I just go through every tab, every menu. and I then work out what everything does. And hopefully, if the app does its job, everything has a little description where in plain English you can understand what that function is and how it's going to affect your system.
Yeah.
That is about as plainer English, or as plain English as you can possibly get. You could be be petrified of technology, and this will, every single thing is such a good explanation that you'll know exactly what it does. So well laid out, it's intuitive. There's no diving around menus for hours trying to find a function. You can find them easily, and you know what they do when you find them. Just to remind you, in the closing moments of the show, ladies and gentlemen, that the deal tonight, and this is through Shop on TV exclusively, you cannot and will not get this deal anywhere else. You have 60% off. You're not getting it for 60% of the price. You're getting 60% of the price discounted, taken off, when purchasing any security system, any of the hardware. Now, you have to start with the foundation, which is £114. It's the bare minimum that you need, and you can then build your own system and add what you need on top, or you can go for a package that's already set. 2 months of free Pro Premium monitoring worth £55. There we're going to add a couple of things. There is all of the accessories and options that you can get, all explicitly and easily explained. And then there is your summary down the bottom. Remember, all those prices that you go through are minus the discount. Once you add them to the cart, then it will show you your discount, and I imagine that would be quite a nice experience to see how much money comes off and how much money you're going to save potentially hundreds of pounds. And if you've got a massive house, a farm, a mansion, a stately home, a business, a cafe, a restaurant, a bar, a nightclub, an Airbnb, a shop, a kiosk, I don't know, a hut at the seaside. If you've got an outhouse, if you've got a garage, if you've got a shed, if you've got an outside office or an extension or a conservatory, a loft, a basement, you can monitor a ship. No, maybe not a ship. Well, maybe you do have a ship. I was going to say a boat. That's the one. A boat, a car, a caravan, a camper home, motorbikes, etc. You can have it all protected with SimpliSafe, can't you?
And even if you add the professional monitoring, professional installation option through the online quotes,
yes,
you don't have to do it. So you add it on. You only pay order work if you book through them. So if anyone's unsure, add it. You'll get information sent to you about the installation. But like we said, 97% of people install themselves. But just so you know, you're not contracted if you are interested to look at what installation is about.
13,000 Trustpilot reviews with an average of 4.9 versus the competition around
3.8.
It's SimpliSafe. It's simply one of the best security systems out there. 97% of customers install it themselves. Everything's guaranteed, and make sure you get your deal by Tuesday night at midnight. Thank you so very much.
Thank
you,
you,
and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.